This page is the colorful cover of the January 1993 issue, depicting a charming handcrafted scene featuring Sonic the Hedgehog swinging on a whimsical structure alongside other unique characters. The clock face prominently displays 1993, indicating the issue's date. The cover teases major game coverage, listing titles like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage 2, World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, and TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's also a section dedicated to Mega CD games, mentioning Ninja Warriors, Dark Wizard, Final Fight CD, and more. The main feature article is a review of the year 1992 for the Mega Drive, and hints at news about a rumored new project. An advertised appendix promises a comprehensive catalog of all 264 Mega Drive games released to date. This page is an advertisement for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, highlighting its return with new features like Tails, the Spin Dash, 3D special stages, and competitive two-player gameplay, now available for Mega Drive and Game Gear. The next page features an exciting split between two popular Sega titles. On the left, there's an ultra-speed action campaign for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This campaign offers two special prizes. Everyone who purchases both a Mega Drive console and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 game simultaneously can receive a 1,000 yen cashback coupon. Additionally, customers can enter a lottery for a chance to win an original Sonic the Hedgehog 2 hoodie. The campaign includes a quiz as part of the entry process. The right side of the page is dedicated to the highly anticipated battle puzzle game, Puyo Puyo. A vibrant illustration features the main character, Arle Naja, surrounded by the iconic Puyo blobs. The text highlights the game's intense head-to-head puzzle action, where players chain together matching colored Puyo to send nuisance Puyo to their opponent. Screenshots show the game's interface and gameplay. Puyo Puyo is announced for release on the Mega Drive on December 18th, with an estimated price of 4,800 yen, and it's also stated that the arcade version is launching simultaneously. The page also reminds readers that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is available on both Mega Drive, 4,800 yen, and Game Gear, 3,800 yen, with the Game Gear console priced at 19,800 yen. This page presents a look at two upcoming Sega Mega Drive titles. The top half features Tazmania, where the famously hungry Taz is on a chaotic adventure searching for a legendary egg. The artwork captures the cartoon's wild energy, showing Taz ready to devour anything in his path. This action game is set for release on December 25th. With the price yet to be announced. The bottom section showcases Mazin Saga, Mutant Fighter, a side-scrolling action game based on the popular comic. Players control a giant robot, engaged in intense battles against evil biomachine beasts. The page emphasizes the faithful adaptation of the source material and the thrilling combat against grotesque foes. Mazin Saga Mutant Fighter is scheduled for a February 1993 release, with an estimated price of 6,800 yen. Sonic the Hedgehog also makes a brief appearance at the bottom left. This page leads with a detailed preview of Dark Wizard, a strategic simulation RPG for the Mega CD, slated for release in January 1993. It promises high-quality sound, full animation, and a massive game world, emphasizing the epic fantasy setting and the distinct paths of its multiple main characters, each facing unique trials and leading to various endings. The page also highlights a Mega CD first anniversary campaign, where purchasing the system includes a bonus Sega Classic Arcade Collection, CD, featuring 4 iconic Mega Drive games, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, The Revenge of Shinobi, and Columns. Further enhancing the Mega Card's multimedia capabilities, the Mega CD Karaoke unit is featured, detailing its functions for enjoying music and karaoke. Finally, the Mega CD hardware itself is noted as being currently on sale. This page features a preview of the Sega Mega Drive title known internationally as World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. The Japanese title is also prominent, I Love Mickey and Donald, Mysterious Magic Box. The artwork shows Mickey and Donald looking into a magical box surrounded by a vibrant, leafy environment, while the headline promises that dreams, adventure, and fun are powered up by this double cast of characters. The game itself is a charming platformer, as evidenced by the several screenshots showcasing different levels. You can see scenes set in forests, underwater areas, a sky world with floating clouds, and what looks like ancient ruins. The text explains that Mickey and Donald find a mysterious magic box while practicing magic and are transported to a magical, fantasy world where their adventure begins. Players will need to use both their wisdom and courage to explore this strange new world. The game was scheduled for release on December 18th, with a provisional price of 6,800 yen. This page announces the arrival of Konami's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Return of the Shredder for the Mega Drive, heralded by the prominent text, "It's here!" and Mega Mega. The visuals featured dynamic screenshots showing the turtles in action, selecting characters, and battling foot soldiers and bosses, alongside vibrant promotional artwork depicting the heroes fighting Shredder and other villains. The game, known internationally as the Hyperstone Heist, is a classic beat-em-up, and the text highlights its appeal to players who enjoy single-player enemy clearing, cooperative play, and flashy, action-packed fighting game mechanics. It also suggests it's a game for those who appreciate both casual fun and high quality. The release date is listed as December 22nd, priced at 6,800 yen plus tax. A small section also promotes the rental start and home video release of the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. This page is a vibrant promotion for Wolf Team's Laserdisc game, Road Blaster. It immediately grabs attention with the tagline, "The excitement of an action movie, non-stop LD car chase." The artwork features the intense eyes of the protagonist alongside a striking female character, accompanied by menacing figures, hinting at the game's cinematic style and antagonists. A prominent illustration of the iconic red car racing down a desert road dominates the lower half. The text highlights the game's technical prowess, boasting the use of second-generation animation technology to achieve smoother visuals with a total of 15,000 animation frames. It also emphasizes powerful 3D stereoscopic sound and mentions that the theme song is provided by the band Jaywalk. Small screenshots show glimpses of the on-road action and the cockpit view, reinforcing the car chase theme. This marks the third LD game released by Wolf Team, underscoring their commitment to this format's potential for delivering high-quality, animated experiences akin to interactive films. The next page showcases promotions for upcoming Mega CD and LD games, including the third installment of the Road Blaster LD game series. On the left, we see Anet Futatabi, an action fighting game featuring impressive animation and a wide array of techniques like throws, defense, and continuous attacks. The artwork highlights the protagonist, Anet, in action. This title is slated for release in late January on the Mega CD. To the right, the page features Tenbu Sangokushi, a real-time strategy simulation game set in the Three Kingdoms period. It boasts a new multi-window system called MVIWS, and visually showcases famous scenes from the era. The music production is handled by notable artists Takahashi Yukihiro and 135. This game is set to release on December 25th for the Mega CD. At the bottom, the Road Blaster FX logo is prominently displayed, confirming it as the third title in the LAD game series. Following up on the promotion from the previous page, its release date is set for December 18th. Credits show collaboration with Bose and Wolf Team. This page announces the upcoming release of Afterburner 2i for the Mega CD, set for December 18th, with a price of 8,400 yen. The main image features a striking close-up of a fighter pilot in the cockpit, embodying the high-speed arcade action the series is known for, and also highlights the first installment of the Overseas Masterpiece series, featuring Speedball 2 for the standard Mega Drive room, priced at 6,800 yen. A circular graphic depicts intense futuristic sports action from the game. Finally, there's a brief recruitment notice seeking graphic designers, animators, and character designers for Cry. This page announces the upcoming release of Megalomania for the Mega Drive, confirming it will be an 8-mega room simulation game, though the price is yet to be decided. Developed by Execo and produced by Cry based on the Virgin Games/Sensible Software title, it's highlighted as a battle evolution simulation. The artwork depicts the game's theme of evolving combat units across different eras. The page also features Dyna Brothers, a comical strategy simulation game on 8-mega room, priced at 8,800 yen, excluding tax. Dyna Brothers is noted for its rising popularity and high scores from specialist magazine reviews, being recommended as a summer vacation title. The page reinforces the connection with Chris, consistent with the previous page's context. This page features the Japanese release announcement for Gods, the classic action-adventure platformer from the Bitmap brothers. Scheduled for release in January 1993 at a price of 8,800 yen, the game is highlighted for its success in Europe, Having spent 20 consecutive weeks on the charts in 1991, it's described as an extreme hyper-puzzle action game. You play as Hercules, a hero fighting against evil gods to reclaim sacred temples and restore peace, ultimately aiming to become a god himself. The page includes screenshots showcasing the game's challenging level design and intricate pixel art. Published in Japan by PCM Complete and confirmed as a Mega Drive exclusive, Gods is a renowned title known for its complex puzzles and demanding action. This page is an advertisement for the historical simulation game Romance of the Three Kingdoms 2 Eyes, released on both Mega Drive and Super Famicom. It announces the game's release with the tagline, "The Lion Rises 3 Times," highlighting its depth and strategic gameplay. This page features an advertisement for Koei's strategic simulation game, Operation Europe. Path to Victory 193,945, known in Japan as Europa Zensen. Released simultaneously on Super Famicom and Mega Drive, the game places players in command of either Allied or Axis forces during World War II. The striking artwork depicts military leaders and the chaos of war with tanks and aircraft. Gameplay screenshots show the top-down strategic map, where players manage units and plan operations across European and African theaters. The advertisement highlights the depth of strategic command required to achieve victory. It lists the game's price at 12,800 yen and announces a simultaneous release date of January 16th for both console versions. This page is an advertisement for the Victor Wonder Mega, an all-in-one system combining the Sega Mega Drive, Sega CD, and Karaoke CDG capabilities, promoting a revolution in home entertainment. This page is an advertisement for the Sega Mega Drive game, known in Japan as the Kickboxing, and released internationally as Best of the Best Championship Karate. The ad highlights the game's impressive animation, boasting 500 character animation patterns for realistic fights, presenting it as a serious, competitive fighting game. It showcases various gameplay modes designed to enhance the experience. The Select Hit mode allows players to customize their fighter by choosing from over 50 moves to create a unique winning style. The Replay mode features VCR-like controls for reviewing matches in slow motion, fast forward, or rewind, helping players analyze weak points and techniques for strategic planning. There's also a Kudamite mode for challenging wild matches, and a training mode essential for improving skills through practice and sparring. Players can also freely select the number of rounds in matches. The game was scheduled for a January release at 8,500 yen by Microworld. This page is an advertisement for the Intense Adventure RPG, A Rank Thunder, released exclusively on the Sega CD in Japan. The ad features a striking visual of a creature model designed by Yasushi Nirasawa, set against a backdrop of lightning, hinting at the game's dark and action-packed atmosphere. Scheduled for a January 1993 release at a price of 7,400 yen, A Rank Thunder immerses players in its world through dialogue scenes featuring character portraits and full PCM voice acting. Gameplay is presented in a field view with an isometric perspective, and battles are shown in a dynamic visual card battle format. The page also lists the game's voice cast and key staff, including Shinji Kadomon, who provided the theme and insert songs, and Shojiro Endo, responsible for the original work and planning. This game looks like a deep dive into a sci-fi horror world powered by the Mega Creed's capabilities. This page kicks off with an announcement resonating with adventure: the release of the original music CD for Landstalker, The Treasures of King Noel, featuring the legendary treasure hunter Lyle and his companion Farah, battling a demonic foe in the key art. This CD compiles all 26 tracks from the game, presented in both fully arranged and remixed versions to bring the game's memorable score back to life. It was set to release on December 16th for 2,500 yen, and included an exclusive logo sticker. Below, we dive into a showcase of upcoming Sega CD titles. First up is Jaguar XJ220, touted as the first racing game for the system, promising full-throttle action across global circuits, shown with dynamic racing screenshots. Next is The Secret of Monkey Island, presented as a hilarious adventure surpassing the movie experience, featuring classic point-and-click gameplay screenshots. The bottom section highlights Wolfchild, a side-scrolling action game where the legend of the werewolf revives, showcasing the transforming protagonist in detailed sprite work. Finally, Heimdall brings a new adventure based on Norse mythology, billed as an authentic role-playing game, illustrated with immersive dungeon exploration and interface screenshots. All these exciting Sega CD titles were slated for release in the spring. This page announces the emergency release of J.League Champion Soccer for the Sega Mega Drive, an official game licensed by the Japan Professional Football League. It prominently features the logos and mascots of the original 10 J-League teams, including Sanfrecce Hiroshima, Kashima Antlers, and Yomiuri Verdy. The game boasts realistic action and simulation gameplay, capturing the distinct characteristics of star players like Kazu and Ramos, with every player's ability detailed by precise data. Players can select formations strategically. The page highlights features like intense two-player matches, where up to 8 participants can recreate actual J.League games, suggesting multiplayer support. A notable feature is the action replay function, allowing players to relive decisive moments like a VTR for 10 seconds, even reproducing questionable calls. Developed by GameArts, this 4 meters room cartridge title was scheduled for release on February 5, 1993, priced at 7,800 yen before tax, promising fans an authentic J.League experience on the Mega Drive. This page announces the Psychic Detective Series Volume 3, Aya, marking a shocking debut for the popular PC series, exclusively on the Mega CD. This installment plunges players into a psychic detective adventure, where the protagonist, Kyoya Furuyashi, possesses the ability to dive into the minds of clients, to solve mysteries involving the interaction of life and death. The game utilizes the DAP system to deliver a high-level real-time adventure, with seamless continuous animation, music, voice acting, and sound effects. The page features a striking painted portrait of the titular character, Aya, and pixelated screenshots showcasing the game's interface and character portraits. Psychic Detective Series Volume 3, Aya was released on January 3rd with a list price of 7,600 yen before tax. This page announces the Best 50 campaign by Wanpaku Kozu, running from November 20, 1992 to January 15, 1993. The campaign highlights 50 recommended titles. By answering a survey, customers can win one of 200 consoles, like the Super Famicom, PC Engine Duo, or Mega Drive. Additionally, by purchasing campaign-eligible games, customers receive stickers. Collecting 3 stickers earns an original telecard, and everyone gets an original calendar illustrated by a popular manga artist. The page features screenshots and details for several games, including Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Mega Drive and Game Gear, Mickey and Donald, World of Illusion, Mega Drive, Puyo Puyo, Mega Drive, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Hyperstone Heist, Mega Drive, Streets of Rage 2, Mega Drive, Shining Force Gaiden, Game Gear, Soldier Ace, Mega CD as Soldier Ace, Dark Wizard, Mega CD, and Afterburner 2i, Mega CD. It also lists other games across Mega Drive, Game Gear, Super Famicom, PC Engine CD-ROM, and PC Engine platforms. The store chain emphasizes that new software titles are sold at special prices. This page is all about R.B.II. Baseball 4 coming to the Mega Drive, hitting home with arcade action. The main image shows a batter crushing a ball, capturing the excitement. It boasts abundant data, featuring real American League and National League players, officially licensed by the MLBPA, including data from the '91 season and winning teams dating back to '83. The game is packed with features, offering 3 difficulty levels perfect for beginners and advanced players alike, with modes including single games, league play, and World Series. There's even a home run derby mode for batting practice. Visually, it promises beautiful graphics and sound, showcasing detailed stadiums, lifelike player animations from pitching to fielding, and dynamic crowd reactions. Audio includes impressive voice synthesis. The page highlights that you can play against a friend and enjoy replays of great plays. RBII. Baseball 4 is set to release on December 18, 1992. This page presents the table of contents for the January 1993 issue. The layout features distinct sections for new releases, hot game reviews, special features, and regular columns, with some screenshots on the left showing a character in different poses, possibly from a title like Yumemi Mix or Folly Boss, which are mentioned later. The new software scramble section highlights upcoming titles like Phantasy Star IV, Snow Bros, European War, Gauntlet IV, Risky Woods, Desert Strike, Return to the Gulf, and F-22 Interceptor. The B Mega Hot menu provides reviews for recent hits. Part 1 covers major releases including Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Hyperstone Heist, RBI, Baseball 4, which was the focus of the previous page, Streets of Rage 2, J-League Champion Soccer, World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, and Tasmania. Part 2 features Puyo Puyo, Xenon 2 Mega Blasts, Gods, Crewball, and others. A prominent special feature looks back at 1992 on the Mega Drive, analyzing key events and rumors about the future. There's also a special report focusing on the game development scene in France. The Mega CD press section previews upcoming Mega CD titles, such as Final Fight CD, Dark Wizard, The Ninja Warriors, Umemi Mix, Road Blaster FX, Robo Aleste, Jaguar X, 220, and Eye of the Beholder. Further sections cover regular columns, reader contributions, and specific game series like Thunder Force IV and Cyborg 009, alongside ongoing features. This page features the latest sales data, providing a breakdown of top-selling games for both the Mega Drive and Game Gear. The Mega Drive section analyzes sales trends, noting that this month saw a good number of new releases. Landstalker, a highly anticipated title, took the top spot as expected. The report mentions that the relative quietness of new releases in the previous couple of months helped the latest games perform well, and the team is looking forward to the year-end sales rush. The top 10 list is presented, with Landstalker leading, praised for its detailed 3D visuals and RPG mechanics. Vixen 357 is highlighted at number 2, recommended for fans of tactical mecha combat. Black Hole Assault holds the number 3 spot, noted for its action and stylish English narration. Other strong sellers include Sonic the Hedgehog and Shining Force. Below that, the Game Gear popularity is researched with a top 5 chart. The analysis notes that the Game Gear library is growing, with some titles even performing better than Mega Drive releases recently. Shadow Crusader takes the number 1 position, lauded for its impressive visuals on the handheld. Phantasy Star Gaiden and Batman Returns are also featured in the top ranks. This page reveals what Mega Drive users are wishing for, and what's currently hot in the shops. The top section features user data, games you want to be ported top 20, showcasing a poll where fans listed the games they most desired on the system. The Street Fighter II series dominates at number 1, highlighting the huge demand for arcade ports. But other popular requests include Princess Maker and Cotton. Further down the list, classic titles like the Dragon Quest series and Snatcher also appear, demonstrating a wide range of genre interests among players. Below that, the shop data, latest video game popularity top 5, gives a snapshot of what's flying off the shelves. Street Fighter II leads the pack here as well, solidifying the fighting game craze. Virtual Racing is a major highlight at number 2, specifically called out for its popularity, and recommended as a must-play title, despite its relatively recent release. Art of Fighting makes an appearance on both the wishlist and the sales chart, showing strong momentum. This data provides a great look at both player aspirations and market reality at the time. This page reveals the Mega Drive user data for the top 20 most anticipated new games. The introduction notes the passage of time and the continued anticipation for many titles, some having been on wish lists for over a year, like the top-ranked 3x3 Eyes. Coming in at number 1 is 3x3 Eyes, an RPG expected on CD, long awaited by fans. Following at number 2 is Phantasy Star IV, with character and story details newly revealed. This highly anticipated RPG is set for a late next year release. Third place goes to Streets of Rage 2, praised as a successful sequel to the action hit, noted for its varied special moves and imminent release. The fourth spot is held by Final Fight CD, a promising arcade port that includes 2-player simultaneous play, bringing the classic action game closer than ever to the arcade experience. Rounding out the top 5 is the addictive puzzle game Puyo Puyo, which is gaining popularity in arcades and has tournaments planned. The list continues from rank 6, featuring other notable upcoming titles like Arcs 1, 2, 2i, Record of Lodos War, Sylphid, Gauntlet, Langrisser 2, Dark Wizard, Sonic CD, and World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, covering a wide range of genres from RPGs to platformers and racing games like Glock, Air Battle, and Night Striker. This ranking is based on a survey of reader postcards, giving a clear picture of what Mega Drive owners are eagerly looking forward to. This document outlines the upcoming software schedule for Sega's Mega Drive, Mega CD, and Game Gear. The Mega Drive lineup includes arcade ports like Final Fight MD and licensed games such as Alien 3, with many titles having tentative release dates. The Mega CD schedule showcases CD-ROM titles like Sonic CD and Shining Force CD, alongside arcade conversions promising enhanced experiences. The Game Gear's upcoming releases include the GG Shinobi 2 and Lemmings. The editorial notes frequent new game announcements and hints at a magical beast synthesis RPG, likely Dark Wizard. Screenshots of Alien 3 and potentially Shining Force indicate the variety coming to these Sega platforms. More information is promised for the next issue, suggesting an exciting future for Sega fans. This page presents updates directly from various software makers for Sega platforms. Sega Enterprises notes the success of Sonic 2 and apologizes for a Mega CD title delay, mentioning enjoyment of Puyo Puyo on MD internally. Koei confirms the release of Romance of the Three Kingdoms 2i and announces a Mega CD drama collection based on the series. Game Arts discusses voice work in their games and mentions the upcoming J.League Champion Soccer. Taito explains delays for Ninja Warriors and Night Strikers on Mega CD. Data West provides a release date for Psychic Detective Series Volume 3 Aya. Namco describes their unique sports title, Balljacks. Victor outlines their focus on Mega CD in 1993, featuring titles like Heimdall and Monkey Island. Human apologizes for the delay of the heroic legend of Arslan, explaining the difficulty of development. Pony Canyon is bringing Eye of the Beholder to Mega CD, with enhanced visuals and music. Polydor, a new developer, is porting the RPG Allshark to Mega CD and releasing game music seeds. Riot looks forward to upcoming releases like A Rank Thunder and Cyborg 009, encouraging players to save for them. The page compiles brief insights and updates directly from the developers themselves. This page features the BeepMD race, highlighting key new releases to help readers decide what to buy during the busy Endofear period. It focuses on two titles released on December 11th. First up is Nakajima Satoru Kanshu F1 Grand Prix Super License, a racing game based on the popular Fi1 series. It features real drivers and tracks, and includes a backup save feature. Reviewers noted improvements to the controls making cornering smoother, although some felt it still lacked a bit of intensity. Overall, it received moderately positive scores. The second game is Puyo Puyo, the hugely popular puzzle game ported from the arcade. It's a fantastic competitive puzzle game featuring characters from the Madu Monogatari series. The goal is simple: connect 4 matching Puyo to clear them. Reviewers universally praised its cuteness, addictive gameplay, and especially the versus mode. It's easy to pick up but offers deep strategy for chaining combos, earning it very high marks. The page uses a unique scoring system, where multiple reviewers rate the games out of 10, with a dog icon representing the average score. This section serves as a buyer's guide for the influx of new games. This buyer's guide, part of the BeepMD race feature, reviews 4 titles using a dog icon scoring system. RBII, Baseball 4, a baseball game, received a score just above 6, praised for its real-world data but criticized for a lack of depth and field issues. World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, an action-adventure game, earned a strong score of 7+, lauded for its visuals and cooperative gameplay, though some wanted more depth. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Hyperstone Heist, a beat-em-up, scored close to 7, with enjoyable combat despite a short length. Finally, Pachinko Kunyon, a pachinko simulation, received the lowest score, just above 5, due to limited features and unengaging gameplay. The next page continues the BeepMD race feature, reviewing 4 more Mega Drive games with dog icon scores. First is Crewball, a unique pinball game featuring music by Motley Crue. While the concept and music are cool, and the ball movement is fast, the pinball table layouts are repetitive, and the visuals don't change much, earning it a dog score of 5. Next up is a basketball game featuring the legendary Dream Team USA. It uses real player names and attempts to recreate their movements. However, the reviewer found the gameplay slow and the movement basic, despite the exciting premise. It receives a dog score of 6. Tasmania, based on the cartoon character, is reviewed. The action game captures Taz's signature moves like spinning and eating everything, which the reviewer found amusing. However, the controls are deemed difficult, leading to a dog score of 4. Finally, Denon Aleste, Robo Aleste in English on Sega CD, likely a different name on Genesis, is reviewed. This is a vertical shooter, set in a Japanese historical context, with a unique BGM style. While a decent shooter that's fun to play for a while, it doesn't quite live up to the expectations of the Aleste series name, lacking the expected flashiness and impact, particularly in the early stages. It scores a dog score of 7. The next page continues the BeepMD race feature, reviewing several Sega CD titles. First up is Road Blaster FX, the Sega CD port of the classic Laserdisc car action game. Reviewers found this version an improvement over previous ports, offering exciting chases against biker gangs across its 9 stages and being suitable even for beginners, earning an average dog score of 7.5. Next is Gambler Jiko Chushinya 2, Giki 2, Mahjong Lanhen, a mahjong game on Sega CD featuring a large cast of 51 characters from the series. Mahjong fans will find it fun, with good character presentation and satisfying gameplay, resulting in a strong average score of 8.0. Tenbu Mega CD Special is a real-time strategy game based on the historical Three Kingdoms period. While praised for its historical basis and unique real-time system, reviewers found it less accessible and lacking the visual flash of other games. The graphics and sound were considered average, leading to a lukewarm average score of 5.75. Finally, Aya is a sci-fi adventure game ported from FM Towns. It features an adult mystery storyline with suspicious characters and animation, but the controls were found to be frustrating, and the overall system felt old. Disappointingly, explicit content from the original version was cut, contributing to a lower average score of 5.5. This page reviews 4 Sega CD games: Road Blaster FX, a mahjong title, a Three Kingdoms strategy game, and a sci-fi adventure. This page continues the BeepMD race feature, reviewing several titles and offering editorial commentary. It starts with a review of Kunichan's game Tengoku Part 2, a collection of mini-games including racing and puzzles. Reviewers found the kart racing surprisingly difficult and the overall quality mixed, resulting in an average score of 4.75. Next is Shining Force Gaiden, a tactical RPG side story that was well received for its solid gameplay similar to the Mega Drive series and earned an average score of 7.25, recommended for RPG fans. The editorial team discusses the high volume of year-end game releases. They note the resurgence of falling block puzzle games, specifically highlighting Puyo Puyo as a top pick alongside Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the holiday season. Desirable Mega CD titles like Road Blaster FX and Gambler Jiko Chushinya 2 are mentioned, and the page celebrates the wide variety of genres available, spanning puzzle, tabletop, action, and RPGs. This page continues the BeepMD Reader Race, a feature where readers rate MegaDrive software on a 10-point scale, and their average scores determine the rankings shown in the Odds Table A. The table lists over 50 games including Lunar, The Silver Star, Advanced Daisen Ryaku, Shining Force, Thunder Force, IV, and Sonic the Hedgehog, showing their current rank, previous rank, and genre alongside the reader average score. Featured reader picks are highlighted. The favorite is the Mega CD adventure game, Rise of the Dragon, Blade Hunter Mystery, which received a strong reader score of 8.4383. Readers praised its atmosphere but noted control difficulties and surprisingly short length, despite some good voice acting. The contender is the action game Chernov, with a reader score of 8.3636. Fans enjoyed its unique strangeness, suitable difficulty, and artistic backgrounds. Lastly, under Other, the baseball game Super League is reviewed, with comments mentioning its good batting form, but oddities like the lack of a forkball and strange ground balls, offset by semi-automatic outfield defense. The analysis of the rankings notes Shining Force dropping to 3rd and Lunar's score dipping, intensifying the competition at the top, while Thunder Force IV has overtaken Sonic. The list includes new entries marked in red and Mega CD titles in green. This page continues the BeepMD Reader Race, featuring reader reviews and rankings of Sega Mega Drive and Mega CD software. The New Old Dark Horse introduction highlights several titles. The classic RPG Phantasy Star II is praised for its anime-style battles. Top Pro Golf is noted for good visuals but finicky controls. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker is seen as simple but entertaining with its unique visuals. And the strategy game Siege of Golgotha 2 is appreciated for its interface, despite a slow pace. Conversely, the Bad Horse Ticket introduction points out games with lower reader scores. The Sega CD RPG Wicked Woodstock is heavily criticized for poor graphics and system design, while the action game Rastan Saga 2 receives negative comments regarding its ending, although some found the gameplay engaging. The page also includes Odds Table B, listing more games ranked by reader average scores, and a section for reader feedback, the voice of the stablemaster stable, where players share brief opinions on various titles. This page continues the B Mega Reader Race, showing more reader rankings for Mega Drive games in Odds Table S. The main focus is on the Super Shinobi, known internationally simply as Shinobi. The Stable of Famous Horses section features a detailed look at this classic title. The reviewer fondly recalls it as the first game he bought with his Mega Drive, praising its sharp graphics, the excellent music composed by Yuzo Koshiro, and responsive controls that hold up even today. He highlights the game's enduring fame, attributing it to the clever and pervasive use of pop culture parodies throughout the series, which included iconic boss battles like the one shown featuring a clear reference to Godzilla. The Leave It to the Readers section provides feedback from players who still find the game enjoyable. They echo praise for the graphics and music, noting the impactful presentation of the boss fights. Readers specifically mention the famous parodies, including characters resembling Batman and others. The overall sentiment suggests that despite its age, the game remains a solid and memorable action title, known for its challenging ninja action as Joe Musashi. The page also includes a visual representation of the reader vote distribution for the game. The article closes with a playful prediction from the writer about future battles, perhaps hinting at parodies involving Superman and Mechagodzilla. This page continues the B Mega Reader Race with a special focus on longshot games for year-end bargain hunting. A table ranks games based on their longshot degree, calculated by the difference between the reader average score and the magazine's average score. Topping the list are games like Heavy Nova, Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Lords of the Yellow Turban, and Rent a Hero. The article discusses how these games, despite potentially receiving lower scores in the magazine, are highly rated by readers, suggesting they offer unique depth or appeal that resonates with players. Screenshots of Heavy Nova and Rent a Hero accompany this section, illustrating the types of games highlighted as hidden gems. The page also includes the continuation of the overall reader ranking list in Odds, Tables C and D. Further sections invite readers to participate in prediction games, forecasting the final ranking position of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 upon its debut, and predicting the average reader score for the upcoming Romance of the Three Kingdoms 2-1. There's also a call for participants in the reader race, offering prizes like the Genesis title LHX Attack Chopper. The overall tone is that readers are finding value and enjoyment in games that the magazine might have initially overlooked. This page celebrates the highly anticipated release of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, detailing the excitement and events surrounding its launch. Sega orchestrated numerous events leading up to the November 21st release, culminating in a massive completion event held at Studio Alta in Shinjuku, Tokyo. The turnout was immense, with fans flocking to witness the game showcased on large screens, even attracting attention from media outlets like CNN. The article and accompanying photos capture the palpable enthusiasm. Images show dedicated fans queuing early at game stores across the country, regardless of the weather, eager to be among the first to play. The scenes at the Shinjuku event are particularly striking, showing a huge crowd gathered beneath the iconic Studio Alta banner, alongside sightings of the Sonic mascot, and stations where fans could experience the game firsthand. Store interiors are depicted overflowing with Sonic merchandise and demo units, illustrating the widespread appeal. The article notes the game's immediate strong performance, highlighting its rapid push towards 1 million copies sold domestically, a testament to the anticipation confirmed by reader predictions discussed previously. Future events, like the Sega World Gathering, are also mentioned, promising continued excitement for the Blue Blur. This page highlights a variety of gaming news and product releases. Michio Nakajima, star of the Kyukara Orwa live-action adaptation, served as a special one-day manager at Sega's Roppongi Gigo arcade to promote the series. Across the Atlantic, the Super Games show was held simultaneously in the UK and France, demonstrating the growing popularity of video games in Europe and featuring demos of the Mega Drive and Sega CD. In music, a unique album celebrating Street Fighter II is set to release with a lineup of popular Japanese artists, alongside new crowds from Yumiko Takahashi, linked to the Chibi Maruko-chan movie, YMO, and guitar duo Baho. Konami's 1993 All-Stars album features an unexpected singing debut from their own public relations staff. Other releases include an original video animation called Nekohiki no Orurain, a barcode boy accessory for the Game Boy, a videotape providing comprehensive reviews of upcoming Mega Drive games, and an essential official guidebook for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, detailing every stage and including developer interviews. This page features the 7th installment of the B Mega Drive CM investigation team, focusing on the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 commercial, specifically the Sonic Land, and Quiz editions. The section details the 30-second TV spot, which started airing on November 7, 1992, and was filmed in October. It highlights Sega's significant investment, noting it was their most expensive CM production to date, demonstrating their confidence in the game. The commercial sequence is described through still images, showing dynamic shots like Sonic flying alongside Tails, running through iconic loop-de-loops, encountering enemies on jump pads, and featuring glimpses of new stages, and the Sega Mega Drive console itself appearing on screen. Below the main CM analysis is a quiz section tied to the commercial, asking viewers a question about who ran alongside Sonic in the ad. Correct answers could win prizes including the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 game, a poster, or an original bomber jacket. A behind-the-scenes look reveals that the commercial used live-action filming, composited with animation for Sonic and Tails, rather than relying solely on CIG as some might assume, highlighting the extensive effort involved. An interesting anecdote mentions that an early version of Sonic's face in the CM was based on the UNIS design and had to be quickly redone. The CM took nearly 2 months to finish and is airing frequently to promote the game. The team also invites readers to share information about old commercials they'd like investigated, with a teaser for future coverage of BA-grade CMS. This page dives into the world of Formula One racing, focusing on the 1992 Japanese Grand Prix held at Suzuka. The headline celebrates Riccardo Patrese's first win of the season. The article notes the surprising turn of events at Suzuka, where championship rivals Ayrton Senna and Nigel Mansell both retired, paving the way for the second drivers from the top 3 teams to finish on the podium. Gerhard Berger took second place, marking Honda's final appearance playing their music at Suzuka and concluding their 10-year partnership with Senna. Martin Brundle secured third place with a determined drive. The page also highlights the renewed promise of the Lotus team, which showed significant improvement at Suzuka thanks to active suspension technology and support from Komatsu. Their drivers, Johnny Herbert and Mika Hakkinen, qualified well and briefly challenged for a podium spot before ultimately retiring, leaving hope for a stronger showing in the future. Namco Wonder Eggs, a popular theme park near Futakota Magawan Station, is attracting large crowds. The park, costing around 3,000 yen for admission and attractions, stays open until 10 p.m. Highly popular attractions include Galaxian Cubed, with potential 3-hour wait times, the Tower of Druaga, a 4-person RPG-style laser sword battle, Future Coliseum, Magical Illusion, and Hotel Ghost. The park effectively utilizes its space for a variety of experiences. Wonder Eggs regularly hosts events, including the recent Wonder Halloween Party, which drew over 10,000 visitors daily. A dramatic Christmas event is planned for December. This page covers Genesis information, highlighting 2 recommended games: the classic fighting game Double Dragon and the American football title Super High Impact. The review for Double Dragon hails it as a masterpiece in the fighting game genre, noting its origins as an arcade port. While the graphics may appear somewhat dated now, the game is recognized for its fundamental influence on the genre. The gameplay is described as simple, with basic punch, kick, and jump controls, plus the ability to grab and throw enemies, and notably features 2-player simultaneous play, which was a key selling point. Screenshots show the arcade title screen, a character selection/menu screen with the iconic dragon artwork, and gameplay footage including combat and platforming elements. The reviewer suggests picking it up to understand the roots of modern fighting games. Super High Impact is presented as an authentic American football game. It stands out for its varied formations and realistic graphics, with particular praise given to the processed look of the field and grass. The review emphasizes that it captures the feel of the sport, especially compared to some Japanese football games, and supports versus play, making it a solid choice for fans of American football. Screenshots include the title screen, a view of the gameplay on the field, and a complex play selection menu. This page announces the formation of a new development studio joining the Sega fold, GAO Entertainment. Following in the footsteps of notable teams like Climax and Sonic Team, GAO is presented as a promising addition to the Mega Drive lineup. The studio is founded by experienced developers, including Rifu Toyota, known for creating the action title Granada, and Ko Mizoguchi, recognized for his work on the music for Lunar. Toshihiko Yamamoto also features prominently in the team's structure. Their first project, currently titled Esperanza, tentative, is revealed as an 8 meters robot shooting game slated for release the following spring. The article highlights the game's technical ambition, particularly its use of 128 simultaneous colors, double the standard capability of the Mega Drive hardware, showcasing impressive technical skill. Esperanza is described as fundamentally a horizontal shooter, but it incorporates elements like enemies attacking from deep backgrounds and vertical scrolling sections, adding depth to the gameplay. The game also promises features such as combining with support planes and RPG-like elements, aiming for a diverse and engaging experience. Illustrations of the main characters and several screenshots depicting the action, herd elements, and a distinctive base or vehicle area are shown, hinting at the game's visual style and mechanics. The magazine expresses excitement for this new studio and their potential to deliver high-quality titles, viewing their arrival as a positive development for the future of the Mega Drive. The article previews upcoming software, primarily focusing on Phantasy Star IV. A new release scramble section briefly mentions several games, but the core of the article centers on the RPG sequel, titled Phantasy Star IV. Character names revealed. The article unveils character details and the game's premise. Set after Planet Palma's destruction, the story framework is solid, and map creation is in progress. Combat will resemble Phantasy Star II, with a party of up to 5 characters. The game is slated for release late next year. Character designs, in the style of the series, are presented, including Chaz Ashley, Alice Brangwyn, Ren, Rika Frey, and Raja. The villain, Dark Force, is also depicted. The game is planned as a single-player RPG, with a target size of 8 meters or more, backup battery support, and is currently 20% complete. This page features previews for a trio of upcoming titles. First up is a Doraemon action game, Doraemon Yume Dorobu 279 no Gozansu. It's an action game featuring the iconic character. Confirming development is proceeding smoothly, with details on enemies and music. It's planned as a one-player game, currently 50% complete. Below that is a preview for Snow Brothers, Nick and Tom. This is a port of the classic arcade game, bringing its unique snowball-throwing, enemy-rolling action to the console. The article mentions the simple yet fun gameplay, recurring bosses, and helpful items. It's stated to be 80% complete and supports 2-player simultaneous play, also featuring a password system for continuing. Finally, there's a look at Gauntlet, which is nearing completion. The big news here is the addition of new original modes alongside the Arcade Perfect port. Specifically, a 4-player simultaneous battle mode is detailed, where players fight and try to knock each other out. Another mode involves smashing walls for items and racing to the exit. It sounds like they are adding significant value beyond just bringing the arcade classic over, with even a potential RPG-like quest mode being considered. This version supports up to 4 players and is 80% complete. This page dives into several upcoming titles, starting with a preview of Maten no Sumetsu, an RPG that readers are eagerly awaiting. The article shares battle and overland map screenshots, noting that despite the incomplete picture, development is progressing steadily, building anticipation. Following that is a feature on Edie Victor's upcoming lineup for the next year, highlighting the output of the joint venture between Electronic Arts and Victor. They promise a high volume of releases, and the section includes a photo from an event, setting the stage for their future titles. The page then previews specific games. Risky Woods, under a tentative name, is an action game where players use various weapons, like knives and boomerangs, to defeat enemies and free trapped gods. The description praises the graphics as both beautiful and strangely striking. Next up is Furry Friends, another tentatively titled action game featuring an elephant as the main character. The objective is to rescue captured animal companions, who then become playable characters, allowing players to choose the best animal for navigating different areas. Finally, the page previews Desert Strike, based on the Gulf War. This is a helicopter combat simulator where players destroy targets on the map. The controls are described as intuitive, and the article notes the detailed graphics, including small human figures and tanks on the ground. This page features a special year-end roundtable discussion with the legendary developers who shaped Sega's future, Yuji Naka, Kan Naito, and Yu Suzuki. The conversation delves into their experiences creating some of Sega's most beloved titles, contrasting their approach with games like Super Mario and The Legend of Zelda. Highlights of the interview include insights into the development of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, particularly its unique development process in America, and the character design of Tails. They also touch upon the creation of the action RPG Landstalker. The developers discuss the differences in player reactions between Japan and America and their design philosophies, emphasizing the goal of creating experiences distinct from their competitors. The page includes photos of the developers and screenshots from Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Landstalker, visually grounding the discussion in the games themselves. This is a fascinating look behind the scenes, with the minds responsible for some of the Mega Drive's most iconic games. This page continues the special year-end roundtable discussion with Sega development legends Yuji Naka, Kan Naito, and Yu Suzuki, the men shaping Sega's future. The conversation explores their personal philosophies on game creation and their views on Sega's position in the industry, particularly in contrast to Nintendo. Yu Suzuki shares a surprising perspective, stating he doesn't play many games himself, preferring to create based on other inspirations. The developers discuss Sega's competitive spirit against Nintendo and the shift towards creating unique experiences, not just competing directly in existing genres. A significant point is the focus on the future and the transition to 3D graphics, highlighted by the mention and screenshot of Virtua Racing. They touch upon the technical challenges of implementing completely new 3D on Sega hardware, acknowledging it was difficult, but a crucial step into the new era. The page features a large portrait of Yu Suzuki, introduced as the champion of the arcades, with a profile listing some of his iconic arcade hits like Hangin', Space Harrier, Outrun, Afterburner, and Virtua Racing. The discussion concludes with reflections on the importance of innovation for Sega to carve out its own market space, rather than just competing head-to-head in established ones. This roundtable provides a deep dive into the minds behind Sega's pioneering development work during this pivotal period. The next page shifts focus dramatically to discuss the emerging world of multimedia, specifically highlighting Kodak's Photo CD technology. Titled, The Multimedia Declaration, this section predicts Photo CD will be the second hit in CD media, following the success of the audio CD. The core concept is storing high-resolution photographic images on a compact disc. The page explains the capabilities of Photo CD, noting it can store up to 100 images at a density 4 times that of HD TV. It discusses various applications, from creating personal photo albums and catalogs to potential professional uses like medical image storage. X-rays and court scans are mentioned, and multimedia presentations combining photos with audio. The author emphasizes that a key strength of Photo CD is its integration with existing technology. Users can simply take their standard film rolls to a participating photo lab to have them transferred onto a CD. This ease of access, combined with the ability to view the images on a television via a Photo CD player, is seen as a major factor for potential widespread adoption. Illustrations depict this straightforward process, showing a person dropping off film and a family viewing photos on their TV. The page suggests this technology signals a new era where individuals can create their own CD media. This page delves into reader opinions on the all-important game controller, under the header, My Ideal Pad. The general sentiment is that the controller's feel significantly impacts game enjoyment, and contributors weigh in on what works and what doesn't, primarily focusing on the Mega Drive pad. Feedback is mixed. Some praise the Mega Drive controller's size and button response, finding it easy to use for action and shooting games after adjusting from the packed-in version. Others find it too large or difficult to get accustomed to, suggesting variations might be needed for different players. A common point of comparison is the Super Nintendo controller, which one user finds easier to play with due to its size and shape, noting the lack of L/R buttons on the Mega Drive pad is a drawback, especially for genres like racing or puzzle games like Breakout. Suggestions include adjusting button placement, improving sensitivity, and considering different designs for arcade-style or simulation games. The consensus at the bottom suggests there was significant feedback, often critical of the standard Mega Drive controller, and highlights the importance of learning from past controller designs like those for the Famicom, NES. Also noted is the theme for the upcoming March issue, Messages to the Sonic 2 staff. This page, titled, To the Industry, to Games, Say What You Want, presents reader opinions on the Mega Drive scene. Fans yearn for more games, especially Konami ports like Parodius and Snatcher, contrasting with Konami's success on MSX. A reader reminisces about their Sega journey, from Mark II to the Mega Drive, while also acknowledging brand image concerns. Exceptional customer service from GameArts, responding personally to feedback on Lunar for the Mega CD, is highlighted. Another reader praises the satisfying true ending of Bahamut Senki, and hopes for a sequel. The Patlabor Games demo also impressed with its cinematic presentation. Users submitted illustrations of characters like Tails, Ayanami, and Chelnov are included. Miscellaneous comments touch on game elements and distractions, like children, while playing Landstalker. This page features reader feedback and illustrations, a continuation of the previous page's theme of fans expressing their hopes and opinions on Mega Drive games. A significant section focuses on Langrisser 2, following a promotional effort mentioned last issue. Readers are sending messages of support, praising the previous game, Warsong internationally, as being so engrossing that it made them want a sequel for the Mega Drive. They highlight the non-tiring story and clear characters as perfect. Another prominent request is for a Phantasy Star MD. Given the recent release of Phantasy Star IV, readers are keen to see a new Phantasy Star game, specifically for the standard Mega Drive cartridge format, potentially using elements from Phantasy Star IV but bypassing the Mega CD. A reader even discusses the potential cost and necessary sales volume for such a project. Other reader contributions include illustrations and comments on various games. There are drawings related to the Phantasy Star series, requests for titles like Cotton on Mega Drive, and fan art for games such as Final Fight, and characters like Sonic the Hedgehog, and the protagonist from Dynamite Headdy, known as Dyna Brothers internationally. The overall tone reflects the passion of Mega Drive fans for upcoming titles, and their desire for more games on the platform. This page continues the reader interaction theme, starting with fan-submitted lyrics for game music. Readers have penned creative words for the themes of classics like Ghouls, Unghosts, and Dragon Quests, offering humorous takes on Arthur's plight and the iconic opening fanfare. A popular segment, the Mega Drive blushing scene, showcases readers attempting to replicate awkward or exaggerated poses from game character sprites. It features attempts at mimicking moves from Shadow Dancer and Two Crude Dudes, highlighting how strange some game animations look when performed by real people. The BeepMD Talk section features more reader feedback and requests, with fans discussing potential Mega Drive titles like Sword of Sodan, and even speculating about a Mega Drive Plus 2. There's also a discussion about ideal controller designs and recommendations for unique, imported joysticks, shaped like popular characters such as those from The Simpsons and Terminator. Finally, a short manga panel wraps up the page, featuring magazine characters discussing reader content. The overall tone is lighthearted, showcasing the community's engagement and enthusiasm for the Mega Drive and its games. This page features reader contributions and magazine updates. The A Word From section includes fan comments on topics like the new minidisc format, causing confusion with Mega Drive due to the similar abbreviation, playing Phantasy Star on the Master System, MK2I, and the game's battery backup dying, buying a Mega CD, enjoying Landstalker and Sonic 2, wishing for a Mega Drive graphic editor, and the frustration of software release delays. Further reader interaction comes in the BeepMD submissions section, outlining different categories for fan mail, opinions on games like Sonic 2, general feedback and requests, a space for complaints and gripes, reader-submitted illustrations, and photos of fans attempting character poses from games. A Oh No comic strip features the magazine's MD Kun character looking distraught. This ties into the Apologies for the December issue section, which corrects errors in the previous issue regarding the release date for Mega CD Karaoke, the price of a Sega Sonic item, correcting 300 to 350, and the name of an item in Landstalker. Flameguard should have been Flame Boots. Finally, a section lists the winners from the November issue's prize giveaways for various games and merchandise, followed by the magazine's submission address. The page continues the magazine's strong focus on community engagement and responding to its readers. This page celebrates the completion of Shining Force, the Sword of Haja for the Game Gear, known as Shining Force Gaiden in Japan. The main article captures the moment the developers felt the project was truly finished, describing the long hours and the immense relief and joy upon completion. It highlights the collaborative effort involved, mentioning the director, programmers, character designer, and external staff who contributed to finishing this substantial game in a short period. Despite the difficulty, the feeling of accomplishment was immense. Below the main article is a section titled, A Word from the Apprentices, where 3 junior developers share their thoughts. Shimizu Shuji, who handled map design, found it a very enjoyable experience. Tomaikoki expresses excitement about getting his name in the staff role for the first time, and jokes about the challenges faced. Mikura Tatsuya confirms the game is finished, calls it a continuation of the Shining Force series, guarantees it's fun, and humorously asks about the possibility of a sequel. This section provides a personal touch, showing the contribution and enthusiasm of the younger staff members involved in the project. The page captures the mixed feelings of exhaustion and pride that come with completing a significant game development cycle. This page features a conversational column titled, Taguchi/Kakugen Duju, with developers Taguchi, Dugen Shibuya, and Keiaki Takechi. They discuss the completion of Shining Force, The Sword of Hajiya, Shining Force Gaiden in Japan, with Takechi confirming it's finished and ready for release. They joke about moving on to the next project and show a humorous image of a refrigerator labeled, "This is development," and another of someone relaxing with a portable game system. Below are several short reader-submitted thoughts or quotes. The page also includes the new employee Hanako Okada's Office Lady Diary comic strip. Hanako Okada laments being broke after buying an expensive Apple Macintosh LC2, but is happy to receive fan mail. The comic depicts her daily life, including playing games, and features a panel where someone mentions Saturn, an unusual early reference for this publication context, possibly a gag about office distractions. Finally, the ending section wraps up the issue, noting the revival of the Apprentice Corner, and confirming the imminent release of Shining Force, The Sword of Hajiya. The author encourages readers to prepare their Game Gears and enjoy the game, promising more coverage and fan contributions in the next issue's Sanitsu Mania section. This page features Sims Communications Volume 9, published on December 8, 1992. There's a follow-up report on the user participation project for VE, Armor of the Meteor, specifically focusing on monster design submissions. The article discusses the entries received, noting fewer monster designs compared to character designs, but highlighting many creative submissions, such as the amoeba monster design shown with humorous expressions and the detailed, multi-legged spider creature. Next, a special report announces a significant change for the game previously known as Junkers High. It's being revamped with powered-up content and a new temporary name, Outrun 2019. A screenshot shows a futuristic racing perspective, hinting at the game's new direction, with a planned release for March. The page also includes a report on the Junkers High game tournaments held in Osaka and Tokyo. It describes the events as lively and successful, thanking contributors and showing photos of attendees playing the game. Finally, the answer to the previous issue's quiz is provided, and it's mentioned that the quiz segment and manga are skipped in this issue due to page constraints. This page begins a new column dedicated to exploring the fascinating world of virtual technology, particularly as it applies to arcade gaming. The inaugural installment focuses on Sega's groundbreaking polygon racer, Virtua Racing. It's highlighted as a high-speed polygonal experience, setting the stage for anticipating future installments in this exciting series. The column then dives into several other innovative virtual experiences found in arcade facilities, showcasing how classic concepts are enhanced or new ones are created. There's Virtual Warehouse Manager, a game where you navigate a warehouse using a forklift in 3D polygon graphics, featuring a unique pressure-sensitive button and difficulty adjustments. Next is Virtual Street Fighter 2, which puts players into a first-person 3D view of the iconic fighting game, utilizing the R360 cabinet for dynamic movement. While some character attacks are noted as being intensely realistic, bordering on uncomfortable, they are praised for their impact. Two other unique experiences are featured: Virtual Bungee Jump, which simulates the thrill of a jump using a display, fan, and varying scenic stages, and Virtual Batting Real Name version. This batting simulator uses a head-mounted display and recreates the pitches and habits of real professional baseball players, offering different modes for realistic practice and gameplay. Each featured experience is rated on its fun factor, virtuality, and realism. The column concludes by inviting readers to share their own virtual experiences and opinions. This page features a new column from Jam Oji-san, offering insights and answering reader questions about the game industry. The first installment tackles concerns about the economy and whether the bubble burst has hit the game market. Jam Oji-san offers a perspective that while the broader economy sees major corporations struggling with reduced profits and losses, the daily lives of individuals haven't drastically changed, suggesting the impact might not be as severe or widespread as some fear. The column delves into the economic climate, noting the downturn affecting traditional Japanese companies and asset values. It then analyzes the entertainment market, presenting data on its size and growth alongside a graph. The game software market is specifically examined, compared to other sectors like video rentals, auto racing, karaoke boxes, and health clubs, showing comparable market sizes. Jam Oji-san discusses how the game market, while not shrinking overall, faces challenges like decreasing profits per company due to increased competition and a surge in titles. He notes that North American and European markets remain robust, leading many Japanese manufacturers to focus on global expansion. The industry is shifting focus from simply adding features or raising prices to improving the quality and sales volume per software title, a move seen as providing reassurance to consumers. The column concludes with a call for readers to submit their questions about games and the industry for future installments. This page introduces a new column called Konami Sister's Wanderings Log, presented as a dialogue between Konami Sister, Tuyu, and Joshu. The topic for the first installment is Konami's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game series. The conversation touches upon the different versions released by Konami on various platforms, including the Famicom, NES, Game Boy, and Mega Drive. They discuss the history of the series and notable differences, such as the Mega Drive version featuring an original story. A key point raised is how the character settings in the Japanese games differ from the original American comic source material, specifically mentioning Master Splinter and April O'Neil and their unique portrayals. Screenshots from the games, including character selection, are shown. The dialogue reflects a lively discussion about the game's appeal and historical context. The column concludes by soliciting reader mail for future topics and questions. This page is an advertisement for Sega specialty store Santa, showcasing a wide range of Sega Mega Drive, Game Gear, and Master System software and hardware with prices, including special offers and new releases. This page presents a The Mega Part 1 Hot Menu, highlighting several noteworthy Mega Drive titles. Leading the charge is the absolute phenomenon, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The article exclaims, "Have you seen the Supersonic Legend?" Setting the tone for a deep dive into this highly anticipated sequel. It notes the game is on sale now from Sega and features 2 player versus play. The text praises the game's incredible speed, far exceeding the original, and its abundant, intricate level designs. It emphasizes that the true enjoyment and graphical upgrades can only be fully appreciated by playing it. Screenshots showcase Sonic with his reliable partner Tails, various stage gadgets and traps, and the challenging enemies you'll encounter. A dedicated section details the special stage, urging players to collect the Chaos Emeralds. It explains the simple method of access, collecting 50 rings and touching a save point, which transports you to a 3D tube level. The objective is to gather rings and navigate through checkpoints to reach the Chaos Emerald at the end. Warning that hitting bombs makes you lose rings. The game's sheer sense of speed is highlighted again, stating few action games can match it. This page continues the deep dive into Sonic the Hedgehog 2, offering a guide to highlights and key points up to Zone 10. It provides helpful tips for players navigating the early stages. First up is Zone 1, Emerald Hill Zone. It cautions players about getting carried away with speed and advises getting comfortable with the controls. The iconic corkscrew sections are highlighted, along with the boss fight against Drive Eggman and his drill machine, emphasizing attacking the vehicle's front drill. General tips are given for increasing lives and collecting rings, noting that having continues makes the game much easier and encourages conscious effort to boost your score. It specifically mentions that collecting 100 rings grants an extra life, urging players to gather them. Zone 2, Chemical Plant Zone, is described as featuring strange liquids and requiring players to aim upwards to progress. The level involves navigating platforms, including moving ones, and utilizes Sonic's speed for traversing pipes and slopes. The boss here also features Drive Eggman with a liquid-based attack. Finally, Zone 3, Aquatic Ruin Zone, is a mix of grassy areas and underwater sections, presenting a unique challenge. Beginners are warned about the difficulty of the underwater parts due to enemy attacks and the need to find the exit while managing air supply. The level includes arrow traps launched from pillars, requiring quick reflexes. The reviewer highlights the dual nature and the cool underwater mechanics. Sonic the Hedgehog 2's later zones are explored. Casino Night Zone, Zone 4, offers a casino theme with slot machines and pinball mechanics, praised as multiple games in one. The boss battle is a giant pinball table. Hilltop Zone, Zone 5, blends grassy areas with dangerous heat and lava, challenging players to navigate carefully. Mystic Cave Zone, Zone 6, has a mysterious dark atmosphere with vine switches, spike traps, and a drill-wielding Drive Eggman boss. Oil Ocean Zone, Zone 7, features an oil factory environment with an orange sky, where falling in oil is survivable, with slippery slides and platforms. The reviewer recommends taking your time in this polluted zone. This page delves into Zone 8, Metropolis Zone, in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Described as a city transformed into a complex factory cut off from nature, it's filled with elaborate contraptions designed to impede Sonic's progress. The zone is noted for feeling alive, with mechanisms responding to Dr. Eggman's instructions. The reviewer highlights the enemies encountered here as particularly annoying, mentioning the exploding Telstars that rush you, the Kama killers that throw boomerang-like scythes, and the Connie punch enemies that extend large arms. The zone is unforgiving, featuring numerous hazards like giant nuts used as platforms, steam vents that launch you, compressing floors, sudden spike traps, and spears that shoot from the floor. The advice is to proceed cautiously, taking time to memorize the terrain and enemy attack patterns, rather than rushing headfirst. Despite the difficulty, the page encourages players to enjoy the intricate design of this challenging industrial environment. This follows the previous coverage of Sonic 2's earlier zones, presenting Metropolis as the final major hurdle before confronting Drive Eggman.
This page continues the deep dive into Sonic the Hedgehog 2, showcasing several of the game's creative and challenging stage gimmicks. It illustrates how players will interact with elements like movable bolt platforms, bouncing walls, rotating water wheel-like platforms, pulley systems, moving platforms described as flying carpets, and warp zones that instantly transport you. These features demonstrate the variety and ingenuity built into the level design, presenting new obstacles and ways to navigate the zones. The page also features a section dedicated to a promotional video for Sonic 2. This video is highlighted as a must-see, containing comments from Sonic's creator, Yuji Naka, and the magazine's own editor-in-chief. It also offers behind-the-scenes footage from the filming of the live-action Sonic TV commercial, showing the construction of impressive props like the giant corkscrew seen in the advertisement. This video segment aims to convey the passion and effort Sega put into the game's promotion. Casino Night Zone is also briefly mentioned, recommended for players to experience. This page delves into Sonic the Hedgehog 2's high-flying Zone 9, Sky Chase. Here, Sonic rides atop the wing of Tails' biplane, the Tornado, while Tails handles the piloting. The core gameplay revolves around Sonic defeating various airborne enemies that approach from the right side of the screen. The zone features several types of foes, including swift mechanical birds and bomb-dropping robots. A notable enemy is a large turtle that shoots projectiles from its rear. Defeating the smaller turtles riding on its back allows Sonic to land on the parent turtle. The reviewer notes that Tails is a skilled pilot, ensuring Sonic stays safely on the plane. The main challenge is focusing solely on controlling Sonic, while his position on the wing dynamically changes, which can be disorienting at first. It suggested players try to build up extra lives before reaching this stage. The article also highlights the appearance of a massive airplane halfway through the zone, teasing a major encounter. Overall, the Sky Chase zone offers a unique segment where the duo works together, showcasing Tails' capabilities. This page explores how to get even more enjoyment out of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, going beyond just completing the game. It suggests several ways to deepen the experience and appreciate the game's design. The first tip is simply playing the game through to the end, emphasizing the satisfaction of completion and how action games teach through repetition and learning from mistakes. Secondly, it's recommended to closely observe the terrain and the innovative gimmicks in each stage, noting how the game surpasses the previous title in its clever level design. The reviewer highlights Casino Night Zone as a particularly engaging stage, feeling like a separate pinball game with its slot machines, offering ample opportunities to earn rings. Finally, the importance of the background music is stressed, as listening carefully enhances the atmosphere and is considered a vital part of the game's appeal. Screenshots show various zones like Chemical Plant, Mystic Cave, Casino Night, Oil Ocean, and Sky Chase. This page delves into the treacherous Wing Fortress Zone, the final act before the ultimate confrontation in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The stage takes place on the exterior of Dr. Eggman's massive flying fortress. The narrative highlights the dramatic opening, where Tails' trusty tornado plane is shot down, forcing Sonic to proceed through this perilous zone alone. The emphasis is placed on the difficulty of the stage, warning players about the constant threat of falling off the platforms high in the sky. It also points out unexpected hazards and enemies, like the giant propellers, that require careful navigation. The screenshots showcase the challenging platforming and dangerous environment Sonic must overcome on his way to face Drive Eggman. This page offers insights into secrets and ways to deepen your enjoyment of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. It begins by highlighting unexpected places where you can find valuable items or navigate tricky obstacles. Screenshots show a hidden one up early in Emerald Hill Zone, the need for precise timing on spinning platforms, perilous traps like being pinned by spikes,
and utilizing mechanics such as acceleration rails and cranes to advance. It even teases players with a screenshot of treasure boxes floating in the sky, challenging them to figure out how to reach them. The lower section provides tips for enjoying the game even more. One suggestion is to simply clear the stages as fast as possible, leaning into Sonic's core strength of speed. The other is to fully embrace the competitive two-player versus mode, encouraging players to compete with friends or family, cleverly using item boxes to gain an advantage and race to the finish line. Screenshots illustrate the split-screen action of the versus mode. This page delves into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist, showcasing its impressive graphics and providing tips on mastering the turtles' various fighting techniques. It highlights the completion gauge and confirms the game supports two-player simultaneous play. The article emphasizes that the turtles are full of energy and feature voice synthesis. It then breaks down the combat system, starting with basic attacks, explaining how landing consecutive hits leads to stronger finishing moves. Dash attacks are detailed, including a forward roll and a sliding attack. Jump attacks are also covered, noting that the move changes based on the jump's height and timing, with the ability to knock back multiple enemies. The page then presents special moves, like the grab and throw after stunning an enemy, and a powerful finishing move that requires pressing attack and jump buttons simultaneously, though it consumes health. Finally, a side column discusses the TMNT source material, suggesting that familiarity with the TV anime and live-action movies enhances the game experience. This page acts as a strategy guide for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist, offering essential tips for clearing all 5 stages. Stage 1 is presented as straightforward, with the main challenge being the boss, Leatherhead, suggesting keeping a slight distance to evade his charge. Stage 2 features a high-speed ocean section requiring careful jumping to avoid obstacles, and has difficult later areas with floor traps like spears that demand precise timing. Stage 3 also contains complex field gimmicks in its latter half, including those same dangerous spears, emphasizing the need for cautious movement. The boss Tatsu attacks with arrows while floating. Hitting him causes him to change position and attack pattern, requiring adaptive movement. Stage 4 brings back earlier bosses with faster movement and stronger attacks, advising players to create distance for evasion. This stage also introduces pizza monsters and ice spray traps. Boss Stockman floats and attacks with lasers, best handled with jump and dash attacks. Stage 5 is filled with many enemies and tough areas, like laser zones and elevators, stressing the importance of learning attack patterns over pure technique. The boss mutant mech launches missiles and charges, so staying mobile is key. The final boss, Shredder, is kept a secret, encouraging players to figure out his moves themselves. There's also a small column about the game's development reflecting on the intense work process. This page features the Sega Mega Drive title Team USA Basketball, an authentic simulation game by Electronic Arts centered around the legendary 1992 U.S. Olympic Dream Team. The main visual proudly displays the team's star players. The text highlights the dynamic movements of players like Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson, promising a faithful recreation of their skills. Screenshots show the game in action, emphasizing realistic shots and dunks by the star players. You can challenge 15 international teams in a tournament mode, aiming to become the world champion. The game features player statistics based on actual data from the Dream Team roster. There's also a 2-player versus mode for competitive play with friends. The page indicates the game is available now. Below, other exciting e-titles are briefly highlighted, including the realistic football action of Madden NFL, the intense ice combat of NHL hockey, and the rule-breaking violence of Road Rash. This page showcases the Sega Mega Drive title, Crewball, Heavy Metal Pinballs. As an arcade pinball game, it features a wild, heavy metal theme heavily associated with the band Motley Crue, whose sound is highlighted as central to the game's exciting atmosphere. The main artwork features a monstrous, clawed creature, embodying the game's intense style, along with the title prominently displayed. The game is described as a definitive futuristic pinball experience that breaks conventional pinball norms with its dynamic sound and visuals, aiming for a live concert feel. Screenshots reveal various distinct tables or stages, including one with a large equalizer display, another with slug-like enemies, a stage with curved ramps and different adversaries, and a final stage showing a grid layout with multiple moving targets. The game promises a total of 9 stages designed to keep players engaged, featuring evil enemy characters that move across the screen. Players are encouraged to focus on the game despite the distractions. Bonus stages are key to earning extra balls, as the game only provides a total of 4 balls. Published by Electronic Arts, Crew Ball delivers a high-energy pinball experience unlike anything else on the system. This page features RBI Baseball 4, a baseball game for the Sega Mega Drive. The article highlights it as a great baseball game that's arrived. It mentions a previous Japanese baseball series where the US team won decisively, suggesting the game captures that powerful, dynamic American baseball style, which is different from Japanese baseball and promises a unique and fun experience. The game system is based on the real-life sport, offering several modes. Screenshots show various aspects: a simple player graphic, a weird coach, polite spectators, and exciting in-game action including batting stances and fielding plays. The text describes 3 main modes: play ball, standard game, versus com, against the computer with 3 difficulty levels, and 2P, player versus player. Other modes allow viewing teams, stadiums, and replays. The play ball mode is noted for its TV-like feel, including manager signals and close plays. The versus com mode features challenging opponents, especially on higher difficulties where pitchers throw tricky balls. The 2-play mode allows players to face off, with replay mode enabling them to relive great plays or even highlight their friends' errors. Overall, it's presented as a deep and engaging baseball simulation. This page continues the look at R.B.II, Baseball 4, focusing on its different modes. There's a home run derby mode, where you hit pitches from a machine to see how many home runs you can get, with trophies for skill and candy for failure. The most interesting mode might be the scenario mode, featuring 17 unique situations that drop you into the middle of a game, often requiring you to pull off seemingly impossible wins, like coming back from behind with bases loaded in the late innings. The game also offers intense 2-player matches and a solid single-player experience. Additionally, the page features a strong recommendation for Rampart, highlighting its blend of puzzle, simulation, and action as you defend your castle by building walls and cannons against incoming attacks. A note from the developer reiterates how great RB.I Baseball 4 is, especially mentioning its official MLB license and the challenging scenario mode. Streets of Rage 2, aka Bare Knuckle 2, is previewed as a significant upgrade over its predecessor, boasting arcade-level quality and deep gameplay. The review praises its completion, diverse character moves, and enemy variety. The sound, composed by Yuzo Koshiro, receives special attention, with improved sound effects and a satisfying impact feedback. An interview with Koshiro reveals insights into the game's music composition. He discusses a larger music data size, experimentation with unique sounds, and technical aspects of sampling and equipment. Influences like American house music shape the game's distinct sound. The page includes screenshots of the vibrant graphics showcasing characters like Axel and Blaze, along with photos of Koshiro and his studio. The overall impression is one of anticipation for a high-quality game, with exceptional gameplay, visuals, and sound. The next page continues the deep dive into Streets of Rage 2, walking players through the first 4 stages of this intense brawler. Stage 1 throws you straight into the action on the streets, with multiple enemies appearing at once, before moving into a lively bar fight where you face the boss, Jet, the bar owner. Stage 2 takes the fight to an elevated highway, infamous for aggressive bikers who attack relentlessly. Knocking riders off can even cause the bikes to explode. This stage also introduces tougher grunt enemies and characters capable of using counterattacks. Stage 3 is set in a chaotic late-night amusement park. It features memorable backdrops like a swinging pirate ship and introduces ninja-like enemies. The boss of this stage is Souther, a quick and tricky opponent. Stage 4 shifts to a baseball stadium, apparently hosting underground wrestling matches influenced by Mr. X. Here you encounter formidable fighters like Eagle, a Muay Thai expert, and face off against the massive wrestling boss, Abad. By Stage 4, the challenge significantly increases, with even standard enemies requiring tactical approaches. Each stage is designed with distinct environments and escalating difficulty, promising a diverse and demanding gameplay experience. This page continues the coverage of Streets of Rage 2, shifting focus from the stages to the playable characters and their extensive movesets. It highlights that while there are many techniques, they are summarizing the main ones. The basic controls are explained. A is the special move, which costs health. B is attack. C is jump. B plus C throws a weapon, and holding B allows for a combo finisher. The 4 playable characters are introduced: Axel Stone, Blaze Fielding, Max Thunder, and Skate Hunter, listed as Sammy Hunter in the Japanese version. Each character has a stat breakdown for power, technique, speed, jump, and stamina, visually represented by stars. Axel is presented as the balanced main character. Blaze is noted for her technique and speed. Max is the powerhouse with great strength but lower speed. Skate is highlighted for his agility and speed, especially with his roller skates. Several signature moves for each character are shown and briefly described through screenshots, such as Axel's Grand Upper, Blaze's Flying Special Attack, Max's powerful throws like the German suplex, and Skate's quick attacks and mobility. The page emphasizes the variety and depth of the combat system compared to the previous game. The concluding remark from the publisher expresses excitement about the game's evolution, with 4 characters and significantly expanded moves and actions. This page shifts gears to the exciting world of football, with coverage of J.League Champion Soccer for the Mega Drive. The game aims to let players control actual J.League players and lead their team to victory. The article introduces the J.League, highlighting that it's Japan's professional football league featuring 10 teams such as Yomiuri Verdy and Kashima Antlers. The game itself is described as a side-scrolling football experience focusing on core actions like passing, dribbling, and shooting, emphasizing solid, faithful gameplay rather than flashy moves. A major feature highlighted is the J.League mode, which supports up to 8 players competing in a league format, taking turns as their team's match comes up. Screenshots show the player selection screen, up to 8, team selection, formation selection, and actual match action, including the score and a view of the standings. Sliding tackles are also mentioned as a key defensive maneuver. The publisher's comment reinforces that this is the first official J.League game, bringing the hottest sport to the Mega Drive. This page dives into the enchanting world of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck on the Genesis. The review covers the premise where Mickey and Donald get sucked into a magical world and must defeat the mysterious voice to escape. Highlighting the co-op play feature as a major draw, it showcases 2 of the game's imaginative stages. Stage 1, the Forest and Spider Cave, features giant trees and tricky terrain leading to the big spider boss, who descends from webs. Stage 2 takes the heroes to the Sky and Rock Field, where they acquire the flying carpet magic. The Sky section focuses on navigating hazards, while the Rock Field presents a challenge with disappearing platforms and falling rocks, culminating in a boss fight against the wall-painting dragon. The page features several screenshots illustrating the vibrant graphics and platforming gameplay. This page continues the look at World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, moving on to later stages. Stage 3 takes our heroes to the sea and a sunken ship. Gaining the underwater swimming magic from the previous stage's boss is essential here. The stage features various sea creatures and navigation challenges within the sunken ship itself, offering a change of pace with unique underwater movement mechanics. The boss waiting is Jaws, a large shark. Following that is Stage 4, a journey through a giant house and the land of sweets. Everything is oversized in the house section, creating a whimsical environment. Bonus stages are hidden within this area, leading to the delicious-looking land of sweets. The boss of this stage is the witch. Stage 5 explores a mysterious forest, setting the stage for the final confrontation. The page also highlights the impressive and expressive character animations for both Mickey and Donald, noting the sheer number of different poses and reactions they have, which keeps the game visually engaging. A small comment from the developers mentions that the game was made with care, offering depth and enjoyment for players of all skill levels, capturing the essence of the Disney world. This page features Tasmania for the Sega Mega Drive. The game stars Taz, the Tasmanian Devil, a somewhat cynical but popular character from Warner Brothers. In this game, the objective is to collect eggs, but the path is filled with various obstacles and enemies. Taz is known for his insatiable appetite and can eat almost anything smaller than himself, although this can sometimes upset his stomach. Screenshots show Taz using some of his abilities. After eating something spicy, he can breathe fire, and he can perform his signature high-speed tornado spin to defeat enemies. The game features varied environments, including jungles, factories, and ice stages. The character animations are highlighted as being very expressive and comical, capturing Taz's personality well. According to the developer, the game is designed to be enjoyable for players of all ages, focusing on the fun and comedic movements of the character. This page is a special report by the MegaDrive special correspondent, Yoichi Shibuya, detailing a trip to Paris to investigate the French gaming scene. Despite the cold Parisian weather, the correspondent found the passion of French gamers to be red hot. The report notes that while Paris itself is beautiful and artistic, the arcade scene is quite different from Japan. Pinball machines appear to be more dominant than video games, though seated upright cabinets, like those shown, are present. The pricing is noted as being relatively high. Notably absent are popular Japanese arcade machines, like crane games, and large-scale immersive titles, such as R360. However, the report highlights the strong interest in Japanese console games. Game shops, specifically mentioning the Virgin Megastore on the Champs-Élysées, sell imported Japanese software for both the Mega Drive and Super Famicom, which are reportedly quite popular. Games like Street of Rage and Team USA Basket are mentioned as favorites. The manager of the store, Gilles, is introduced as a pioneer in selling Japanese game software in France, and he expresses a strong desire for Japanese developers to include English-language options in their games to cater to the wider international audience. Overall, the article portrays the French gaming market as passionate but still developing compared to Japan. This page chronicles further adventures in the French gaming scene, starting with a Street Fighter II showdown against French gamers and staff from Megaforce and Superpower magazines. Despite practice, the Japanese correspondent found it tough going, noting the French players' solid skills, particularly their effective use of low kicks. Difficulties with the controller layout compared to arcade sticks made executing moves like the Shoryuken tricky, leading to losses. The report also highlights the massive enthusiasm for games seen at a local show, where Street Fighter II and other console titles were popular, alongside a significant interest in PC games on systems like IBM PC, Amiga, and Atari among French youth who may not have easy access to arcades. The page then transitions to a visit to Sega France. An interview with Sega staff covers the booming home console market in France, where Sega and Nintendo dominate, currently 6-4 in Nintendo's favor, though Sega is strong. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is anticipated to be a huge seller for Christmas. The Sega CD is coming soon, with a focus on building a library of domestic software. Sega aims to be perceived as a serious tech company rather than just a toy maker. Photos show the magazine office setting, the arcade cabinet, players, and the Sega France office building and staff. This page features a collection of publications from SoftBank that are relevant to the gaming enthusiast, particularly those interested in role-playing games and even pinball. It presents covers and brief descriptions for 4 different books. First up are 2 volumes of the RPG Fantasy Encyclopedia. The first covers general fantasy concepts, drawing from mythology and medieval stories to explain the origins of common RPG elements, like monsters, weapons, and armor. The second volume is the Japan edition, which focuses on bringing Japanese fantasy and mythology, especially from historical texts like the Kojiki, into the realm of RPGs, detailing characters, weapons, and armor relevant to that setting. Next is Magic Kingdom Simulant, presented as RPG setting material. This book is aimed at players who enjoy RPGs but might struggle with creating their own scenarios or game ideas. It provides world-building details, character types, jobs, weapons, armor, and items to help build campaigns. Finally, there's Pinball Graffiti, touted as Japan's first pinball book. It surveys around 180 pinball machines from 1965 to 1988, including essays by notable figures like Haruki Murakami. It delves into the history and practical aspects of pinball. These books offer resources for expanding the lore and experience around gaming genres, from deep diving into fantasy settings to exploring the history of arcade culture. This page is a magazine page jack feature where Sega Mega Drive third-party developers are given space to write about whatever they want. The first section is from GSAT, titled Game Talk. It features a discussion among WK and T about the philosophy of game design. They touch upon what makes games interesting, different approaches to game development, perhaps contrasting Western and Japanese styles, and the importance of user satisfaction. They also discuss targeting different age groups and the potential for hardware-specific genres. The second section is from Wolf Team and is a personal piece by Como titled, Actually, Everyone Loves Bisho Games. She recounts her experience meeting Wolf Team members and discussing their passion for games featuring cute female characters. She specifically mentions characters like Annette and Rika, and talks about the Game Time Gal and a follow-up, Annette again, commenting on Annette's character design and outfit. The article includes a drawing of Annette. Como expresses her impression of the team and their dedication, despite some members' playful denial of liking Bishojo games. She notes that Annette again is scheduled for a late January release. This page features contributions from two development studios, Nichibutsu and Compile, as part of the magazine's Developer Jack feature. The Nichibutsu section, titled Nichibutsu's Chapter, includes a piece by Miyu discussing Formula One racing. It delves into the technical aspects and regulations of F1 cars, referencing past years like 81 and 88, and reflecting on the 92 season. A photo of a classic F1 car, asking the reader to identify it, is included. Miyu mentions reflecting on F1 history while planning a Formula One game for the Mega CD, and provides an address for reader mail. The Compile section, Compile's chapter, presents a comedic manga strip titled Waku Waku Thunder Ninja Theater Episode 2. The story follows a female character who is repeatedly mistaken for other game characters based on her hairstyle. After trying different looks, she is finally recognized as Arle Naja from Puyo Puyo, part of the Madu Monogatari series. The strip humorously ends with a statement from Compile, affirming their commitment to user-centric game development. This page features Act 6 of the Climax Entertainment series, picking up the F1 theme from the previous page. It includes a column by Hiroshi Naito titled, Here We Go! F1 Spectator Report, detailing his trip to Suzuka for the From 1 race. He recounts driving his Acura NSX in the rain and getting stuck in a 6-hour traffic jam due to an accident. Saturday's practice was tough because of the rain, but Sunday's race day was clear. He also mentions getting a Sony navigation system that worked well. The page also covers Naito's participation in the Tamiya RCF1 GP final race in Aoyama, where he finished 17th. Finally, there's a section about Naito's last-minute appearance on the TV Asahi late-night show Magnitude 10, appearing just 3 hours before airtime. It describes the strict security, meeting other guests, and playing a game called Ranster before the broadcast. A small manager's diary column by Nishiyan adds details about the busy TV day. This page features the 5th part of a serialized novel by Yoshiaki Tagawa, Spaceship Story, accompanied by an illustration of a spacecraft. It also includes a fan club section for Climax Entertainment, announcing their official name, Climax Crew, and introducing their Griffin-based mascot character while seeking name suggestions. Additionally, the page offers gameplay tips for Landstalker, The Treasures of King Knoll, in a segment called Lesson 2 with character lecturer Morio. He provides advice on navigating tricky areas, avoiding traps, finding hidden treasure, and even details a competition for catching chickens in the game's casino, listing current high scores. The page is rounded out with a humorous 4-panel manga strip and promotional art for Landstalker. This page features the Sega Falcom Communication, Act 15, alongside various reports and columns. The main section is a development status report on 5 announced titles. It discusses the progress of games like Sister Sonic, which is being considered as a potential Sonic spin-off featuring a female character, and the status of Popful Mail, YSIV, Brandish, and Lord Monarch. They touch on system considerations, mentioning the use of CD technology and the focus on content and depth rather than just anime sequences, and the potential for mouse support. Also featured are contributions from readers, including fan art and messages requesting specific games like The Legend of Heroes 2 from the Dragon Slayer series to be released on CD. The page concludes with the 8th installment of the column by Sega Falcom director Kazutaka Yano, titled Pitiless Industry Conclusion. He discusses market trends, highlighting the popularity of items like Casio shock watches and transceivers, and analyzes the state of the game industry. He talks about the shift towards a market structure that values marketing, and the increasing importance of skilled programmers, designers, writers, merchandisers, and producers in the evolving world of game development. He notes that simply relying on brand recognition is no longer enough in the current market. This page features a personal column by Eric C. Sedensky titled Eric's Riveting Game Experience Report, specifically focusing on Episode 7, The Man Who Came from the Town of Horror. Eric discusses his excitement about finally acquiring Splatterhouse Part 2, the sequel to the hit horror action game. He mentions how hard the first game was to find after its release, and his personal history as a huge horror movie fan, tracing it back to watching classic films like Dracula, Godzilla, and The Omen as a child. Eric highlights that his passion for horror films directly influences his appreciation for games like Splatterhouse. He recalls playing an earlier Macintosh game called Creepy Castle, featuring monsters like werewolves, goblins, ghouls, Dracula, and Frankenstein's monster, as a precursor to his interest in the genre in games. He notes that Splatterhouse Part 2 expertly blends elements from horror films into its gameplay. The page includes a screenshot of the game showing the player character fighting a monster, illustrating the violent, atmospheric graphics that appeal to horror enthusiasts. Eric expresses anticipation for the monsters he will encounter in the new game. This page features the 7th installment of the Mega Paranoia Empire serial column, focusing on movies and their potential game adaptations as the year draws to a close. The author discusses upcoming New Year's movies, including strong contenders like Home Alone 2 and The Bodyguard, alongside Godzilla vs. Mothra. A significant portion is dedicated to Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula, highlighting the exciting cast including Gary Oldman as Dracula, Keanu Reeves, and Winona Ryder. The column notes the film's fidelity to the original novel and anticipates a game adaptation on Genesis, likely timed with the movie's release. The author then delves into the Year of Versus theme, exploring the trend of game ties. This leads to a discussion of the Alien vs. Predator crossover, which originated in successful Dark Horse comics. The popularity of these comics sparked talks of a movie adaptation, and the author believes a game would be a certainty if a film materializes, noting that Alien 3 and Predator 2 games already exist on Genesis. A Macintosh title, Digital Alien, is also mentioned as being in the works. The author admits the versus concept, like Godzilla vs. Mothra, brings a sense of unease. This page features a main article titled, How About a Game to Keep in Every Household? It explores unconventional game concepts, suggesting unique simulation games like caring for an elderly person, a baby, or even a pet dog. The author describes humorous and sometimes dark possibilities within these concepts, such as an elderly person dying easily, or a baby crying uncontrollably depending on player choices. The article even playfully extends the pet game idea to include bizarre versions like caring for Space Creature X or an alien, perhaps a nod to the discussions on the previous page. Additionally, there is a section providing an update on the development status of the Switch game, stating it is approximately 40% complete, and mentions progress on graphics, sound, and programming. This section includes a photo that appears to be Oda Market. The page also includes a 4-panel comic strip called Switch 4-Panel Theater, a personal column titled Yoshiki Umegaki's Rambling Words This Month, and a communication section for the performance group Wahaha Hanpo, listing dates and details for an upcoming show. This page is a large advertisement for GameBank's mail-order service, highlighting a wide selection of games for Super Famicom and PC Engine CD at discounted prices, including hardware sales and special bargains. This page is a massive mail-order catalog from GameBank, packed with deals on Sega hardware and software. Front and center is a Mega Drive console for 11,500 yen, alongside a Mega CD unit for 27,800 yen, and a Game Gear for 12,800 yen, all available via mail order. There are extensive lists of Mega Drive software at various price points. You'll find new releases like Streets of Rage 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Tasmania highlighted, alongside large sections dedicated to bargain price titles covering a wide range of genres, from action games like Golden Axe 2 and Outrun, to RPGs, and simulations like Nobunaga's Ambition. There's even a special section grouping titles like Exile, Caesar's Ambition, Columns, Battlemania, and Heavy Unit at a special price of 2,200 yen each, though other classics like Forgotten Worlds, Twin Cobra, and Wonder Boy and Monster World are also listed at competitive prices. Mega CD software includes titles like Robo Alesti and Dark Wizard. Game Gear also gets a look in with titles like Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Batman Returns. The page wraps up by promoting GameBank's telephone information service, offering tips, secrets, and even a software giveaway quiz for a small permanent charge. This is definitely the place to find discounted Sega games via mail order in the early 90s. This page is a reader feedback questionnaire designed to gather information from the magazine's audience. It provides clear instructions on how to fill out the postcard, including space for game requests and general comments. The core of the questionnaire is a series of multiple-choice questions covering demographics like gender, age, and occupation, as well as gaming habits such as the number of Mega Drive games owned and frequently read magazines. It also asks about planned purchases of peripherals and, Crucially, the single game readers most want to buy from a list of 110 titles provided on the page, featuring games like Streets of Rage 2, Phantasy Star IV, Sonic CD, Desert Strike, and Shinobi 2i. This setup allows the magazine to gauge reader preferences and market trends directly from their audience. This page dives deep into the strategy of Puyo Puyo, announcing a national Puyo Puyo King tournament and focusing on high-level play. The article challenges players to master the 5-chain reaction, highlighting it as a significant hurdle. It starts with a step-by-step guide, demonstrating how to build up from basic 3-chain and 4-chain setups using screenshot examples. Tips are given for connecting colors efficiently and avoiding unnecessary single Puyos. The difficulty escalates when trying to achieve the coveted 5-chain, requiring careful placement and foresight. The article concludes with a message from the developers, expressing their excitement for the game's release and emphasizing the fun of the 2-player Futari de Puyo Puyo mode, suggesting that once players experience the thrill of large chains, they'll be hooked. This guide targets players looking to move beyond basic play and dominate the puzzle field. This page introduces the various opponents players will face in the single-player mode of Puyo Puyo, humorously noting that while they are cute, they are annoying because some drop transparent Puyo. The article walks through some of the early opponents, from the incredibly weak skeleton and confused Eggplant Man, to the slightly more challenging Mummy and the chain-using Draco Centauros and Suketo Dara, culminating with the frustrating Pochi who skillfully uses combos and transparent Puyo. Following the introduction of these foes, the page announces a major event, the National Puyo Puyo King Tournament. This large-scale competition, organized by Sega and Compile, challenges players to achieve a score of 300,000 or more in the single-player mode and submit video proof. Running over 3 months, the tournament offers numerous prizes for different skill tiers, including hardware like the Mega CD and various game software, with the ultimate winner crowned the Puyo Puyo King. The page highlights the excitement of this competition and the chance to win impressive rewards. A small comic strip featuring Puyo Puyo characters is also included, along with a brief mention of the game's upcoming Mega Drive release and related events. This page complements the previous discussion on strategy by showcasing the opponents and providing a grand stage for players to test their mastery. This page dives into Xenon 2, Mega Blast, highlighting it as a masterpiece from the BeepMD brothers, a charismatic team well known in the UK gaming scene, especially on the Amiga. Originally released in 1989 on Amiga and Atari ST, this port brings its unique style to the Mega Drive. The game is praised for its striking cyber graphics, impressive power-ups, and notably its cool Acid House soundtrack, which was a collaboration with Bomb the Bass, though the Mega Drive version features an arrangement. The article points out what makes Xenon 2 different from standard shooters. Beyond the compelling music, the game features a unique back-scrolling mechanic, allowing players to move backward through levels. Another key aspect is the in-game shop. Players collect money from defeated enemies and can visit shops located mid-level and after bosses. Here, they can buy power-ups, extra weapons, and health items from a strange alien, receiving information in English. The page lists several items available, including weapon enhancements, speed boosts, a temporary superweapon, and shield repairs. The game is described as having an orthodox, yet individual style, with a spiky personality. A comment from the developers suggests the game is enjoyable, even for those unfamiliar with the series, likening it to an accessible drink. This page features Gods, another critically acclaimed title from the UK developer, the BeepMD brothers. Following our look at Xenon 2, modeled after the legend of Heracles from Greek mythology, this action-adventure game is known for its blend of combat and puzzle-solving elements. As Heracles, you must navigate treacherous worlds, dungeons, temples, and underground cities that have been overrun by 4 evil gods and their monstrous creations, ultimately seeking to defeat them and claim gods, or eternal life. The gameplay involves straightforward controls for attacking, jumping, and item management, alongside directional controls for movement and interaction with levers and ladders. The game features a unique feel, with Heracles' movement having a tangible weight. Important aspects include shops, where you can purchase vital items like weapons and health, and traps that require careful navigation. The screenshots illustrate the detailed environments, the shop interface, and the level completion screen. According to a comment from the developers, Gods is a game that gets more enjoyable the more you play, offering a refreshing experience for those seeking something different from typical action games. This page is all about the kickboxing for the Mega Drive. It challenges you to train hard and become a master of kicks and punches, aiming for the World Champion title. This version is a power-up from a previous PC Engine release. The game offers various modes, whether you want to challenge for the championship alone or go head-to-head with a friend. There's also character customization, where you can choose from over 50 techniques, picking 13 favorites to define your fighter's style, and even change their appearance. Training is key to success, with different types to improve your fighter's parameters and build their unique personality. In matches, the focus is squarely on defeating your opponent. While controlling your fighter is important, mastering techniques and using them effectively is the way to win. Keep an eye on the referee too. Their steps are surprisingly captivating. Ultimately, it's about knocking out your opponent with powerful kicks and punches. The manufacturer notes the game features around 500 character animation patterns and encourages using the VCR mode to study weaknesses and improve. This page dives into Nakajima Satoru F1 Super License, a deep dive into the world of Formula One on the Mega Drive, supervised by the legendary Japanese driver Satoru Nakajima himself. This isn't just another racing game. It's a full-fledged simulation featuring real drivers and all 16 circuits from the 1992 F1 season. Nakajima provides insights and strategy, lending authenticity to the experience. The page features several screenshots showcasing the game's top-down perspective during races, capturing the intensity of the on-track action. There's a large portrait of Satoru Nakajima, highlighting his direct involvement in the game's development and tuning. It also provides detailed commentary and best setting advice for specific tracks like Monaco, the challenging Suzuka circuit in Japan, and the Australian Grand Prix. For instance, Monaco is noted for its tight corners requiring precise settings, while Japan's unique layout demands different strategies. Australia is highlighted for Nakajima's historic best lap and the emphasis on braking precision. These sections offer genuine tips for tackling the game's circuits effectively, straight from the expert. This page continues the deep dive into Nakajima Satoru Fun Super License, focusing on mastering the circuits. It strongly advises players to utilize the Spot Test practice mode to familiarize themselves with each track before tackling the full Grand Prix, a crucial step highlighted by a screenshot of the mode selection menu featuring Satoru Nakajima's portrait. The core of the page is a breakdown of the remaining 13 circuits from the 1992 F1 season. Nakajima offers concise commentary and strategy tips for each track, from the tire challenges at South Africa and the complex corners of Mexico and San Marino, to the high-speed demands of Brazil, Great Britain, Silverstone, Germany, Hockenheim, Belgium, Spa, and Italy, Monza. He points out circuits like Spain, where braking is key, France, which can be stressful, Hungary, where cornering skill is paramount, and Portugal, Estoril, which serves as a good practice track. The advice emphasizes adjusting setup based on the track's characteristics, whether it's maximizing speed on straights or prioritizing grip for tricky corners. It's a comprehensive, expert-guided tour of the game's diverse tracks, essential for any aspiring F1 driver in the game. This page dives into NBA Showdown, highlighting the chance to take control of the legendary Dream Team, USA, and aim for basketball's pinnacle. The game promises realistic recreations of the NBA superstars' signature moves, including powerful dunks. You'll find multiple ways to play, from exhibition matches and full tournaments, to a training-focused arcade mode, and a simulation mode that accounts for player fatigue. The text emphasizes the inclusion of iconic players like Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson tearing up the court. It also touches upon the historical journey that led to the formation of the Dream Team. A notable feature is the integration of the esports network, bringing features like commentary and instant replay, enhancing the broadcast feel, a signature of esports titles. The developer's comment expresses excitement about bringing the Barcelona Olympics basketball sensation to the game. It's clearly positioned as the definitive basketball simulation of the era. This page features the pinball game Crew Ball. It's highlighted as a heavy metal pinball experience, with music provided by the legendary band Motley Crue. The page shows off the game's dark and metallic pinball tables across different screen sections, alongside a striking character illustration fitting the theme. The gameplay involves progressing through levels by meeting certain conditions on each stage. There are a total of 9 stages, each with a bonus area. The game boasts a unique, perhaps slightly bizarre, story, where a quiet town is transformed after a heavy metal group arrives, hinting at the game's unconventional nature. The text emphasizes how the stage design and music are well matched and stimulating. The developers express excitement about bringing this cool game featuring Motley Crue to players, promising a hurrah show, great, wonderful musical experience. This page introduces Pachinko Kuchan, the first Mega Drive pachinko game presented as an RPG. You play as Ren-chan, searching for her father who went missing in Yokohama Pachipachi Chinatown after going to a pachinko parlor. The game involves playing different pachinko machines to advance through the story. The page showcases several of the game's diverse pachinko table designs, such as Hainmono, Fight Ipatsu, Pretty Girl, and Great Thunder, detailing their mechanics and payout methods. It also features character art of Ren-chan and other figures encountered in the game. Scheduled for a December 18, 1992 release from Soft Vision, it offers a unique blend of RPG elements with pachinko simulation. This page introduces Pachinko Kuchan, the first Mega Drive pachinko RPG, about a girl searching for her father in Chinatown, featuring various machines. This page presents a year-end review feature for the Mega Drive in 1992, titled Grand Accounting, 92 Mega Drive, and the Truth Behind the Rumors. It looks back at the year in the Mega Drive world and speculates on new projects for the upcoming year. The page features a prominent image of Sonic the Hedgehog, screenshots from games including Landstalker, The Treasures of King Knoll, and a tactical RPG likely from the Shining Force series, and a photo of the Sega booth at an event, showcasing the excitement surrounding the console. The article reflects on 1992 as potentially a mixed year for Mega Drive users. Despite the release of the Mega CD late the previous year and anticipation for its hardware capabilities, the game lineup didn't always keep pace, leading some users to feel disappointment compared to the Super Famicom's growing share. However, hits like Landstalker, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and the Mega CD title Lunar, the Silver Star were highlighted. The year also saw the release of key peripherals like the 6-button controller and Sega actively pursuing technological tie-ups with major companies outside the gaming industry, positioning itself for the multimedia era. The article includes a quote seemingly from Landstalker, referencing the main character, Ryle. A timeline section provides a quick overview of major Mega Drive events throughout 1992, from game releases to hardware announcements. The feature hints at exciting announcements expected in the future, leaving readers with a sense of anticipation for what Sega will do next. This page features an interview with Sega director Kamada, offering a look back at 1992 and forward to 1993, with a strong focus on the Mega CD. Kamada acknowledges that 1992 was challenging, with the game lineup for both Mega Drive and Mega CD not always meeting initial expectations, despite hits like Sonic the Hedgehog 2. He notes that the Mega CD hardware takes time for developers to fully utilize, leading to delays in software development. Sales figures for the Mega CD are mentioned, showing steady growth towards 280,000 units, expected by March 1993. Upcoming Mega CD titles like Dark Wizard, 3x3 Eyes, and the delayed Final Fight CD are discussed. The page also highlights two key initiatives from 1992. Topics 1 details Sega's acquisition of anime studio Tokyo Movie Shinsha, TMS, featuring an illustration of Lupin III. This move is seen as crucial for leveraging anime technology and properties in future Crydrom games. Topics 2 reports on a collaboration between Sega and Sony, conducted through their American subsidiaries, for game development. This partnership is already yielding results, with Mega CD titles like Sewer Shark and Hook mentioned, accompanied by a small image related to Hook. The page emphasizes Sega's commitment to the Mega CD and its multimedia potential. This page continues the discussion with Sega director Kamada, focusing on Sega's strategy heading into 1993. Kamada highlights plans for strengthening the RPG lineup with major titles, including sequels to hits like Shining Force and Landstalker, along with the highly anticipated Phantasy Star IV, with around 5 such titles planned. He mentions collaborating with skilled external partners like Climax and Sonic Software, planning to cover areas where Sega needs support. The page also touches on the state of the game market, noting a shift towards games becoming a culture rather than just a temporary boom, and the increasing importance of affiliated companies like Segafal.com. Kamada hints at strengthening domestic software and the potential involvement of major third parties, though he remains guarded on specifics. 4 key topics from 1992 are highlighted: the launch of the Mega CD in December and initial titles such as Lunar, the Silver Star and Thunderstorm FX, the successful release of Shining Force in March with its engaging tactical battles, shown with a screenshot, a business alliance with McDonald's Japan and Toys R Us Japan to develop amusement centers, depicted with an arcade image, and a joint game production effort with General Electric leveraging CG and simulation technology, potentially for projects like Megaropolis, illustrated with a CG city image. This page continues the discussion, with Kamada outlining Sega's software strategy for 1993, building on the prior mention of strengthening the RPG lineup. Key titles highlighted for early 93 include Dark Wizard and Final Fight CD, with major Mega CD releases like 3x3 Eyes planned for March-April. He reiterates plans for 5 or 6 major RPGs, including sequels to Shining Force and Landstalker, and the highly anticipated Phantasy Star IV. Excitement is building for arcade ports, specifically the challenging but anticipated port of Virtual Racing to the Mega Drive cartridge format. A screenshot from the arcade version is shown, demonstrating the polygon graphics that made it a hit. The article notes the technical difficulty but expresses anticipation for the final result. The page also covers 2 more 92 topics. Topic 5 investigates rumors of a new Mega Drive machine, prompted by a comment from Sega president Nakayama in the Asahi Shimbun newspaper about competing with Nintendo in 2 years, implying a shift towards a 32-bit era. While the article considers this a general comment about the future direction blending SciX and games, it notes hardware manufacturers are certainly researching next-generation machines. Topic 6 announces the release of the Mega CD karaoke unit, which enhances the Mega CD with various karaoke modes and features, allowing users to enjoy karaoke at home without needing specialized centers. An image of the Mega CD unit connected to the karaoke hardware and a monitor is shown. In late 1992, early 1993, Sega's strategy centered on the Game Gear, positioned as a holiday-focused handheld, and the Mega Drive. The Game Gear would see a focus on titles like Shining Force Gaiden. Meanwhile, the 6-button pad's release sparked interest, particularly for fighting games. A Real Fighters title was in development for the Mega CD. Landstalker, The Treasures of King Knoll, a challenging game with large maps, had just been released. New peripherals, including the 6-button pad and Mega Drive mouse, were hitting the market. The 6-button pad was seen as essential for complex game inputs, fueled by the popularity of games like Street Fighter II. Multi-tap adapters were also planned for games like J-League Pro Striker. This page dives into the Sega Mega Drive's performance and future prospects as 1992 wrapped up. The article highlights Sega's strong focus on the international market, particularly North America and Europe, where the Genesis was seeing impressive growth compared to Japan. Sega set an ambitious global shipment target of 15.2 million units by March 1993, showcasing confidence in its strategy. The launch of the Sega CD, Mega CD overseas, is a major point, with tables showing its initial numbers and projections, though significantly lower than the base console. A list of upcoming Sega CD titles is featured, indicating support from various publishers like Sega, JVC, Sierra, and Sony ImageSoft, promising a diverse range of games from action, Final Fight, Batman Returns, to adventure, Prince of Persia, Ultima Underworld, and FMV titles, Night Trap. Key game successes are celebrated, notably Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which aimed for 5 million sales worldwide, with a massive global launch and promotional push. The page also marks Konami's entry into Mega Drive development, featuring a screenshot from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Hyperstone Heist, and mentioning future Konami titles like Tiny Toon Adventures and Sunset Riders for the platform. A Sega representative provides commentary, emphasizing the importance of investing in new technology and meeting the expectations of dedicated Sega fans. The overall sentiment is that 1992 was a strong year for the Mega Drive internationally, and 1993 is expected to continue this trend, with the Sega CD adding new possibilities. This page shines a spotlight on the much-anticipated Mega CD version of Final Fight. Fans have been eagerly awaiting this port, and the good news is that development is progressing well. A major highlight is the confirmed inclusion of 2-player simultaneous gameplay, something often missing in console ports of this arcade classic. The article features screenshots showcasing the familiar character select screen, featuring Guy, Cody, and Hager. It also highlights the faithful recreation of key moments and environments from the arcade, such as the intense action sequences and the memorable elevator stage. Crucially, the cutscenes, which were often cut from previous console versions, are confirmed to be present and accounted for in this Mega CD release. The developers are apparently working hard to deliver an arcade-accurate experience, even adding a brand new opening visual exclusive to the Mega CD. The text suggests the item placement and gauge adjustments are in their final stages. Alongside the focus on Final Fight CD, the page also includes a small index listing other upcoming Mega CD titles, showing the breadth of games expected for the platform. Overall, the sentiment is that this port is shaping up to be the definitive home console version, a must-play for any Final Fight fan. This page dives into the Mega CD title, Gambler Jiko Chushin Ha 2, Geki 2, Tokyo Mahjong Land Hen. Unlike typical Mahjong games, this version puts a heavy emphasis on narrative and player choice, specifically focusing on a unique date Mahjong mode set within the titular Tokyo Mahjong Land. The article highlights that players are constantly faced with life's choices throughout the game. A crucial early decision is selecting your male protagonist from a roster of distinct characters, each possessing different stats in luck, skill, and rank, along with unique personalities. The page provides a list detailing these potential Mai characters, such as the balanced Mochisugi Dorao, or others with varying strengths and weaknesses. The story kicks off when you unexpectedly receive a pair ticket to Tokyo Mahjong Land. Naturally, you decide to invite a girl to accompany you, setting the stage for romantic interactions intertwined with Mahjong gameplay. The core goal isn't just winning Mahjong. It's equally important to make your date happy, suggesting that success in this game requires more than just Mahjong prowess. Patience and kindness towards your companion are key. Screenshots show the game's map interface and character portraits, giving a glimpse of the setting and cast. This single-player experience, priced at 7,800 yen and scheduled for a December 18th release, appears to offer a charming blend of dating simulation and strategic Mahjong. This page continues the deep dive into Gambler Jiko Chushin Ha 2, Geki 2, Tokyo Mahjong Land Hen on Mega CD, specifically focusing on the crucial aspect of choosing your date. The article makes it clear that selecting the right girl isn't just about looks. Their luck, skill, rank, and unique finishing moves in Mahjong are vital considerations, alongside your personal preference and skill. It emphasizes that this choice, and how you approach them, adds a significant layer of romantic tension to the game. A diverse roster of potential date characters is presented, each detailed with their stats and a brief description of their personality and Mahjong style. The page cautions against indecision, highlighting certain characters like Alice as particularly important choices. Furthermore, it points out that compatibility between your chosen character and the date character is a key factor for success, not just in Mahjong but in building the relationship. Ultimately, navigating these choices wisely is essential to experiencing the game's various endings in this unique blend of dating sim and Mahjong challenge. This page continues the guide for Gambler Jiko Chushin Ha 2 on Mega CD, focusing on key attractions to visit with the girls and essential game options. The popular attractions are highlighted as crucial spots for successful dates, though they can also contain challenging Mahjong opponents. Featured attractions include the Martian Castle Mystery Tour, where players can seek immense treasure guarded by powerful dragons, though facing these foes can lead to significant losses. The Big Takoyama Mountain is a sponsored attraction described as relatively easy to conquer if you watch out for the taco characters. The Bewitching Gal Room is presented as a place filled with girls, but perhaps surprisingly, it's noted as not being ideal for dating due to the presence of high-level A-class Mahjong players, suggesting it might be better to avoid if possible. A helpful tip is offered. If a girl gets angry, you can call Miss Choice for assistance. The guide also emphasizes the importance of the options function, recommending players adjust control settings for ease of play in both story and date modes. The sound test is pointed out as a basic but useful feature to enjoy the game's BGM and Mega CD's clear audio. Finally, sections like Monster Cruise and Face Introduction showcase other Mahjong locations and provide details on individual character stats and abilities to help players strategize. This page details key game locations and options, highlighting strategic choices for dating and Mahjong challenges in Gambler Jiko Chushin Ha 2. This page introduces the upcoming Sega Mega CD RPG, Dark Wizard: The Resurrected Sorcerer of Darkness. A significant project for Sega, the game is noted as having a slightly complex system, so this feature reviews some basic points following a minor release delay. The story revolves around the imminent revival of the evil god Ahriman, and the efforts to defeat Vera Shanice to prevent it. Players choose from 4 protagonists: Prince Wenrique Dine, Holy Knight Cyan, Dark Sorcerer Amon, or Sorceress Imelda. Each character offers a different starting point, influencing the game's difficulty and narrative path towards the common goal of stopping Veronese. The gameplay features turn-based simulation battles where strategy and tactics are vital. The article shows screenshots of the detailed battle map, character status displays, and the battle screen itself, commenting positively on the smooth character animations during combat. Players can also manage units and deploy defense forces. The game allows you to name your protagonist. The feature promises a thrilling story. This page dives into the upcoming Mega CD port of Taito's classic arcade hit, The Ninja Warriors. Scheduled for a March 12th release at 7,800 yen, this action title is highlighted as a faithful recreation of the original arcade experience, featuring the famous 3-screen display compressed into a simulated cinescope aspect ratio, with slight top and bottom cuts. The article proudly states that unlike the PC Engine version, the Mega CD port realizes key features like 2-player simultaneous gameplay and the impressive appearance of tanks that fill the screen. Fans will be pleased to know the game system and character arrangements remain true to the source material, specifically designed to appeal to Ninja Warriors aficionados. The Americanized BGM is fully reproduced, and a new arranged version by Taito's Zunta sound team is also included on a companion sound CD. Screenshots showcase familiar scenes, including the iconic kunoichi and ninja characters battling enemies, facing off against large tanks, fighting the longsword-wielding boss, and encountering the memorable ninja dogs. The reviewer comments positively on the faithful background graphics and visual details, like the blood effects when enemies are hit. Taito is quoted as saying fans will cry with joy over this port, suggesting a high level of anticipation and quality. This is presented as a title that shows a different side of Taito moving forward. This page features a look at two very different aspects of the Mega CD and Wonder Mega platforms. First up is Night Trap, described as one of Sega's hidden gems. This game for the Mega CD, known as Sega CD overseas, is a full-motion video adventure and puzzle title. It puts you in charge of monitoring a house via multiple camera feeds, setting traps to capture intruders while the residents go about their business. The unique aspect is characters acting simultaneously in different rooms, like residents chatting while someone is breaking in, making it a dynamic monitoring challenge. It's highlighted as a shocking experience that goes beyond typical digital comics. Screenshots show the live-action actors and the house surveillance interface. Below that is a feature on Wonder MIDI, a dedicated MIDI decoder cartridge for the Wonder Mega console. This allows the Wonder Mega to connect to musical instruments and play music data from specific cry-drums like MIDI World. It's presented as a way for anyone, even non-musicians, to enjoy automatic musical performance or participate in interactive sessions. The article mentions different modes like Mixer for customizing sound and Session for easy participation, offering robust features for all skill levels. Images show the cartridge and the on-screen interface, including a virtual keyboard and audio sliders. This page features a detailed look at the upcoming Sega CD title, Yumimi Mix, from Game Arts, scheduled for release on Christmas Day 1992. Described as a new type of multimedia adventure, this game puts players in the shoes of 15-year-old Yumimi Yoshizawa and explores the various disasters that befall her. The article breaks down these challenges into 3 main points. First, it notes that Yumi's troubles begin from the very start of the game, with a simple but unlucky event: falling out of bed and hitting her nose right after waking up. Second, it highlights how the story is heavily influenced by player choices, emphasizing the vast number of branching paths possible in this adventure game, suggesting that virtually no 2 playthroughs will be the same. Finally, the third disaster involves a replay mode, where players can revisit saved progress or completed endings. While this lets players easily see different story outcomes, it also means Yumi's repeated blunders will be on full display for everyone to witness, calling it a true disaster for the character herself. The Sega CD game Yumi Mix continues to present a series of unusual disasters for protagonist Yumi. Disaster 4, Easy to Get Hugged, highlights Yumi's frequent embraces, particularly from the club president and a younger girl, Rieti, whose hugs become plot relevant. Disaster 5, Seeing Strange Things, involves Yumimi's sighting of a ghost, dismissed by her friends but investigated by the club president, leading to bizarre creatures invading the school. The game promises increasingly unpredictable events beyond these initial disasters, emphasizing its unique approach compared to typical Bishoujo games. Yumimi's enduring cheerfulness, despite these escalating trials, is a key feature. The article showcases vibrant visuals, including hugging scenes, creature appearances, and a bath scene, all reinforcing the game's quirky humor and encouraging players to support Yumi through these chaotic situations. The game promises a mysterious and unpredictable experience. This page features Road Blaster FX on the Mega CD, developed by Wolf Team. The headline boasts speed that will make your head spin and praises the abundance of impressive visual techniques. The artwork includes dynamic anime characters and the game's iconic red car, hinting at the high-octane action. The reviewer gives a strong overall assessment, calling it the first game that truly feels like a car action title. Compared to previous Laserdisc games, Road Blaster FX is noted for successfully conveying the sensation of directly controlling your vehicle, a feeling often lacking in the genre. The game utilizes dramatic cutscene sequences during key moments, adding to the excitement. Gameplay relies heavily on precise handling, judicious use of the turbo, and timely braking, though the brake timing might take some getting used to. The difficulty is said to be lower than earlier LD titles, making it more accessible. This is a visually exciting and engaging take on the car action genre. This page continues the deep dive into Road Blaster FX, breaking down the action stage by stage. Stage 2 plunges you into a narrow ravine, packed with intense action reminiscent of B-movie thrillers like Knight Rider. The highlight here is the helicopter chase, which you'll need to maneuver past for a smooth finish. Next up is Stage 3, the highway, capturing the feel of American freeways with realistic road signs rushing past. Memorable moments include battling the Mohican Brother character, and the game humorously warns about getting a ticket if you speed too much. Stage 4 shifts to the factory area, which is more varied than the name suggests, featuring markets and lumber yards. This stage is noted for its chaotic, dilapidated American cars and high-speed police chases that push your car to its limits, drawing comparisons to the car action of Terminator 2. Finally, Stage 5 takes the chase into the urban area. This is highlighted as the most exciting part of the game, featuring a powerful city pursuit after leaving the highway. The scene with the black boy in the park is particularly noted for its memorable character reaction. The article also discusses the game's use of binaural sound, which is compatible with speakers, and was specifically designed with Bose PAM 3 speakers in mind for the best experience. The sound is described as incredibly immersive, making the game sound fantastic even in a home setup, especially with a good audio system. This page dives into the historical simulation game, Tenbu Mega CD Special, developed by Wolf Team for the Mega CD. Described as a return to historical simulation, it aims to immerse players in the grand atmosphere of the Three Kingdoms period in China. The core gameplay involves taking on the role of a feudal lord, with the ultimate goal of unifying the Chinese continent. The game proceeds in real time, requiring players to make strategic decisions quickly and efficiently across various domains like internal affairs, diplomacy, military organization, and battle. The review emphasizes the importance of managing time effectively. Key screens are highlighted to help players navigate the game. There's a map of the entire Chinese territory for viewing overall information and troop movements, alongside a regional enlarged map used for giving specific orders to forces and cities. A dedicated window appears when time is paused, showing vital information about your own force, such as population and military strength, and providing icons for system options. The date and time are constantly displayed, and players can control the flow of time, pausing or adjusting its speed, as actions only resolve when time is advancing. Mastering these basic screens and time control is crucial for success. This page delves deeper into the gameplay mechanics of Tenbu Mega CD Special, focusing on the command system and available scenarios. The game's command structure is divided into 4 main categories: national commands, city commands, army commands, and transport unit commands. These allow players to manage various aspects like personnel, diplomacy, strategy, military organization, movement, and logistics. Issuing commands pauses the game time, allowing players to deliberate before executing actions. The page also highlights the 6 scenarios available, offering players different starting points and challenges within the Three Kingdoms period. These include key historical events, such as the Yellow Turban Rebellion era, late Han Warring States, famous clashes like the Battle of Red Cliffs, Burning of Red Cliffs, and strategic divisions like the Three Kingdoms Divide. One scenario, Instant Phantom Dream Shadow, is noted as being a hypothetical or original scenario. Finally, the article summarizes the game's production values, mentioning full animation, extensive background music, and detailed character designs. It notes the unique window system and the introduction of real-time elements to the genre, suggesting it's a promising and potentially complex simulation that looks enjoyable. The reviewer encourages players not to be intimidated by the command depth and looks forward to future, more detailed coverage. This page provides a preview of Annette Again, the third game in the Ernest Evans series, which is coming soon to the Mega CD. The focus right now is on showcasing the game's visual scenes, with a large illustration of Annette and other characters featured alongside pixel art examples of character poses and expressions. The text explains that the Mega CD format allows for strong visual presentation, which is currently prioritized in development, hence the lack of gameplay screenshots in this preview. The article teases more information in future issues. It's an action game developed by Wolf Team, and is listed as 70% complete. A light-hearted comic strip titled Aneko Land is also included, featuring characters discussing the game's release in a humorous tone. Annette Again promises to be a visually engaging addition to the series. This page provides a look at two upcoming titles for the Mega CD. First up is Devastator from Wolf Team, an action game where you pilot the robot versus in high-speed combat within a strange dimension. The unique setting appears when a car reaches 300 km per hour, pulling you into battle against invaders. The preview showcases concept art by Yasutaka Moriki and screenshots of the side-scrolling robot action, promising intense gameplay. An animated OVA is also planned. Also featured is Illusion City, a cyberpunk RPG by Microcabin, making its way to the Mega CD. The game is set in a futuristic, demon-infested Hong Kong, following a devastating disaster. You play as a diver, a demon hunter, teaming up with companions to fight against the SEGA organization. The Mega CD version is highlighted for its VR, visual representation system, enhanced animations, and dynamic 3D battles, promising a visually impressive and immersive RPG experience compared to its PC predecessor. Screenshots show town exploration and the new 3D combat view. This page delves into Achoya Psychic Detective Series Volume 3, arriving on the Mega CD. This is a port of the adventure game previously released on the FM Towns, putting players in the role of Takayagi, who must investigate the mysterious accident involving Agaki, a young woman hit by a car. The story takes a dramatic turn, as Takayagi discovers he can dive into Ataki's subconscious mind to uncover the truth behind her condition and other unfolding mysteries, such as the disappearance of Rika. Screenshots showcase the game's character art, including Ashaki in her hospital bed and another key female character, as well as the command interface used for investigation. The page also includes an interview with Kaori Kukidome, who worked on the scenario text for the game. She discusses the challenges of porting from the more powerful FM Town system to the Mega CD, emphasizing the team's focus on faithfully recreating the atmosphere of the original, despite hardware differences, particularly in color palette limitations. She also touches upon her role in guiding the various development teams, and describes the game as a traditional adventure experience, requiring players to engage with investigation rather than simply making choices. This game promises a deep narrative experience, centered on psychological exploration. This page provides strategic advice for playing a Psychic Detective Series Volume 3 on the Mega CD. It highlights several key points to successfully uncover the truth in the game. The Think command is emphasized as crucial for advancing the story, often leading to new developments or enabling actions. Players are encouraged to make good use of the 3 available save slots, noting that the Note feature to record story progress is only accessible at Takayagi's office. Obtaining evidence items is vital, as these are necessary to move forward, although their acquisition methods vary. The guide stresses the importance of repeatedly talking to characters. Even if they initially say nothing new, later conversations might reveal critical information needed to solve the case. Some locations only open up after specific dialogue or actions, so paying attention and potentially taking notes on available destinations is recommended. Finally, the page strongly advises players, especially newcomers, to record information discovered during the investigation to avoid confusion, as witnesses rarely repeat their testimony. The screenshots show the game's interface, highlighting the command options and showing various locations and character interactions. This page features a focus on the Mega CD title Denjin Aleste. It highlights a release commemoration project that seems to involve the character Seibakan, with a playful note about the limited space available. The page also includes a section detailing events and strategy for Stage 3, mentioning characters like Kage Tofura and confronting the boss known as Hiryu Kai. Several screenshots showcase the game's vertical scrolling shooter gameplay, character portraits during dialogue, and boss encounters. The content provides insights into both a promotional character focus and a specific stage challenge within the game. This page delves further into the Mega CD title Robo Aleste, showcasing the intense battles in stages 4 and 5. Stage 4 introduces a massive battleship constructed by Takeda Shingen, which must be destroyed before confronting Shingen himself in the form of the formidable steel soldier known as Rado. The screenshots highlight the scale of the battleship and the dynamic boss encounter. Following this, Stage 5 takes players to the unique and challenging terrain of Shikoku. The description details the fierce combat conditions, leading to a confrontation with the turtle-shaped steel soldier, piloted by Chosokabe Motochika. Screenshots depict the level's environment and the distinctive turtle boss. The page also includes a fun comic strip titled Denjin Theater by Compile, featuring game characters in a humorous situation where their game suddenly stops, leading to frustration. A small note indicates that Robo Aleste 2 is in development. Finally, a section highlights the human drama within the game, presenting screenshots with character portraits and dialogue lines overlaid with large kanji representing emotions like doubt, misunderstanding, and jealousy, offering a glimpse into the character interactions and story elements. This page introduces the Mega CD racing game, Jaguar XJ220. It highlights the game's focus on the powerful 500 horsepower Jaguar XJ220, calling it the ultimate concept car. The game is described as a collaboration between Core Design and Victor Musical Industries, emphasizing its speed and detailed graphics that surpass previous racing titles. The game features various modes including Grand Prix, World Tour, Free Practice, a track editor, and options. Grand Prix allows players to compete in a 16-country circuit, aiming for the championship. The World Tour mode adds strategic elements, like managing repair costs and travel expenses, while competing globally. Free Practice lets you hone your skills before formal races. A notable feature is the track editor, allowing players to create custom courses with varied curves and elevation changes, which can even be used in the World Tour mode. Screenshots display the game's different views, including an in-car perspective with a detailed dashboard and a third-person view during races. Menu screens show options for selecting modes, tracks, and even a system for buying and changing car parts using prize money from wins. The page also briefly mentions the Team Jaguar aspect and 2 drivers. Overall, the page seems to convey that Jaguar XJ220 offers a deep and engaging racing experience, with impressive visuals and unique features like the track editor. This page introduces 2 upcoming RPG titles for the Mega CD. First, we have Vey, a game with a clear focus on mechs. It's shaping up nicely, currently 70% complete, and scheduled for release next spring. The article highlights the significantly revised designs of the land armor mechs, showcasing them in dramatic opening scene screenshots, and emphasizing the visual updates are worth noting. It also hints at a legendary sword and secret weapons within the game's mechanical world. Below that is Eye of the Beholder, the classic SSI 3D dungeon RPG experience, being brought to the Mega CD by Pony Canyon, expected next summer and 50% complete. This title plunges players into real-time combat as they explore underground environments to uncover the source of evil. The screenshots feature the compelling first-person dungeon view and the party setup, underscoring the game's immersive graphics and atmospheric CD-quality sound. This page features a Rank Thunder, the second game using the LIP interactive conversation system for the Mega CD. This page features a look at Cyborg 009 for the Mega CD, an action game currently 40% complete. It introduces key characters like the powerful cyborg enemy Apollon, the human Helena from the Underground Empire arc, and the villain Skull, creator of the cyborgs. The article highlights the game's high-speed scrolling, compared to Neo Geo's 8-man, and includes screenshots showing gameplay and character portraits, promising exciting visual scenes. The page also includes an overflowing info section, covering other Mega CD news. It previews several upcoming titles: Heimdall, an overseas RPG from Victor; F1 Circus CD, a domestic racing game; and the highly anticipated CD Sonic, which has finally been shown. There's also a preview for Denjin Aleste 2, part of the Aleste series, revealing its setting shifts to the Tokugawa era about 40 years after the previous game, and is expected to have strong action elements. The article expresses anticipation for further details on these titles. This page dives into Kunichan no Game Tengoku Part 2 for the Sega Game Gear. This title, featuring the popular character Kunichan, packs 4 different minigames into one cartridge, a concept praised by the reviewer. However, the overall impression is that while the first game in the series was highly recommended for its simple yet engaging minigames, This sequel doesn't quite live up to it, noting a lack of battle games and uneven difficulty across the various modes. The game's story mode casts Kuni-chan as a reporter at a struggling TV station, tasked with increasing viewership through special coverage. Failure means an eng, putting the pressure on Kuni-chan to succeed. Screenshots illustrate different scenes, including Kuni-chan in a TV studio and participating in the minigames. The 4 selectable games are Kart Game, Bowling, Action, Balloon Splitting, and Puzzle Game. The review briefly describes each, mentioning the Kart Game's racing challenge, learning to get strikes in bowling, a nostalgic take on balloon splitting, and a challenging time-limited puzzle game with rotating panels. The game valuation rates operability and game balance at 2 stars, while AV aspects, sustainability, and recommendation level receive 3 stars. Despite the innovative multi-game format, the reviewer feels the quality of the individual games isn't as strong as the predecessor, and the balance is off. Shining Force Gaiden, a direct sequel to the Genesis classic, launches on the Game Gear on December 25th. Developed by Sega's Sonic team, this tactical RPG takes place 20 years after the original, and features returning characters alongside 18 new members, including offspring of the original cast. The game retains the core gameplay of its predecessor, with updated combat and faster enemy turns. A key difference for the Game Gear version is the field map serving as the primary location for story progression. Players now utilize a headquarters command to manage their team, swap members, handle items, and access character information. The game introduces new key characters like Rusu, Sheila, Sig, and Wendy, all connected to the legacy of the original Warriors of Light. Screenshots highlight the tactical gameplay, animated battles, diverse environments, the headquarters menu, and shops. The review praises the game for successfully capturing the original spirit while offering compelling new features, making it a must-play. This page features the PC TerraDrive collection, spotlighting PC adventure games. The main focus is on King's Quest Fix, Air Today, Gone Tomorrow, the highly anticipated 6th installment in Sierra Online's renowned adventure series. Released in 1992 internationally, the game is praised for its stunning graphics, particularly the beautiful opening sequence, and its engaging story revolving around Prince Alexander's quest to rescue Princess Cassima. Gameplay utilizes a point-and-click no-typing interface, where actions are performed by selecting icons and clicking on the screen. The article showcases various screenshots, including gameplay depicting Prince Alexander interacting with the environment, engaging in combat, and exploring the game's world. A key part of Alexander's journey involves visiting the 4 distinct islands of the Land of Green Isles, each with its own unique challenges and inhabitants, depicted in smaller screenshot previews: the Island of the Crown, Isle of the Beast, Isle of Wonder, and Isle of the Sacred Mountain. The review highlights the game's impressive visual presentation, with diverse animations bringing the characters and world to life, while noting the significant increase in data size compared to previous titles. The Thunderbirds Are Go Go! Rescue Point 007 section offers solutions for difficult games. This issue covers Mega Twins, Atomic Runner Chelnov, and Rise of the Dragon. For Mega Twins, the solution helps players find the Dragon Blue Eyes through fairy clues and a hidden chest. Atomic Runner Chelnov's guide reveals a safe spot to defeat the Stage 6 boss. Rise of the Dragon provides advice on using the Joy Spray, the Stone of the Eye, and rescuing Annis by short-circuiting a machine. Brief reviews praise Megatwin's boss effects, label Atomic Runner Chelnov as challenging but potentially appealing, and highlight Rise of the Dragon's post-game events. Readers are encouraged to submit their game problems for potential solutions and a prize draw. This page continues the Urawaza League Secret Techniques section, focusing on the Sega CD title, Black Hole Assault. The page details methods for uncovering hidden features in the game. It explains how entering specific names like AZ and FOMA during name entry can unlock a special 2-player exclusive paddle minigame and a visual debug mode, allowing players to view various cutscenes and sequences from the game. Screenshots show the simple paddle game and the selection menu for the debug mode. Furthermore, the page provides a comprehensive list of commands to perform special moves for several of the game's combat mechs, or CAMs, such as Typea, Danino, Megalania, and Baryonyx. These commands allow players to execute powerful attacks like uppercuts, hammer knuckles, and rolling kicks directly, bypassing the need for standard combination inputs. The commands are listed alongside images of the respective mechs, and note that directional inputs should be mirrored if the opponent is on the left side of the screen. The editorial team added to reader-submitted commands to make the list more complete. This page unveils more secret techniques submitted for the Urawaza League. For Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on Game Gear, a zone select menu is accessed by holding start during the demo and title screen, then pressing left and buttons 1 and 2. Additionally, collecting a Chaos Emerald in a special stage and resetting allows access to an options mode while retaining the emerald, facilitating easier collection of all 7. For TimeGal, inputting left right up on the directional pad at the menu before starting unlocks a stage select. In the Wake of Vampire features a mode selection activated by pressing start on the title screen, followed by up and buttons 1 and 2. The page also details contest prizes, with rewards ranging from game software to book coupons, based on the submitted technique's quality and impact. This page previews Fatal Fury 2 on Neo Geo, highlighting its large 106 mega room, expanded character roster, improved mechanics, and secret special moves, including a nod to Art of Fighting. This page features a reader giveaway for the January 1993 issue, offering a chance to win some great prizes. The top presents include the winner's choice of MegaDrive or Game Gear software released by the end of 1992. With 30 MegaDrive games and 5 Gear games up for grabs. You can also win the soundtrack CD from the PC-98 game Presents, a telephone card featuring art from Microworld's The Kickboxing, or a 1993 mini calendar set. One highlight is the official Sega schedule book produced by Megaforce magazine, packed with cool package illustrations. There's a brief reflection on Sega's 1992, acknowledging a slower year, but noting the potential of the Mega CD. The page also lists the magazine's staff and provides a phone number for questions, though not game hints. This page showcases Yumimi Mix, an interactive comic game developed by Game Arts for the Sega Mega CD. It was released on December 25, 1992. The game is highlighted for featuring approximately 7,000 frames of animation, with all 800 cuts, based on layouts by Izumi Takemoto, presented in full-screen animation. It's described as an adventure game, where the story branches based on player choices, leading to multiple endings. The page also notes that Yumiko Takahashi performed the theme song, and features a luxurious voice actor lineup, including talents like Akiko Hiramatsu, Toshihiko Seki, and others, providing plenty of character dialogue to enjoy. The main illustration and smaller screenshots offer a glimpse into the game's distinctive anime art style and characters. This page features Jitaku Chushinha 2, Gekitu Tokyo Mahjong Land Hen, a mahjong game developed by Game Arts for the Sega Mega Drive and Mega CD, released on December 18, 1992. Set in the vibrant Tokyo Mahjong Land amusement park, the game boasts 16 unique attractions and 3 restaurants, providing diverse locations for players to test their mahjong skills. The core gameplay revolves around 2 main modes. The story mahjong mode plunges players into a narrative where they must uncover a wicked conspiracy within the park by challenging and defeating opponents at various attractions in both single and tag matches. Success allows you to progress, while failure means game over. The date mahjong mode adds a romantic twist, allowing players to use hard-to-get park tickets to invite characters on dates, with the outcome of the mahjong match determining the date's success. Another path where losing can lead to a game over. With a massive roster of 51 characters, based on Masayuki Katayama's work, players have plenty of opponents and potential dates to interact with in this unique mahjong adventure. This page highlights 2 upcoming titles for the Sega Game Gear. The top section showcases Shining Force Gaiden, Ensei Jashin no Kuni-e, a spin-off bringing the acclaimed strategic RPG series to the handheld. Set for a December 25th release, this entry promises battle sequences with the same impact as the Mega Drive games, and features an entirely original story, designated as Scenario 1, teasing a future sequel. Below that is Kunichan no Game Tengoku Part 2, a diverse collection of 4 minigames for the Game Gear arriving on December 11th. This title features race, bowling, action, and puzzle games, challenging players to conquer various obstacles across 4 different TV programs to save the station. The page also includes a small advertisement for the Game Gear console itself and its TV tuner accessory, emphasizing its portability, and lists the magazine's publication details for January 1993.